not just a case. You're not just a client. You're a person, and you deserve support. You deserve simplicity. You deserve communication. When you hire an attorney, you deserve clear, risk-free advice that guides you to the best possible outcome in your injury case. And that's exactly what the advocates have been providing for over 30 years. After your accident, you deserve closure. You deserve compassion. You deserve peace of mind. You deserve an advocate.
This is the Monty Show, the truth in sports talk streaming. When you want unbiased opinions about your favorite team without the spin, all you have to do is find the Monty Show, streaming live and available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on YouTube. And now, here's Monty.
Hey, the Monty Show, live on Monday, March 23rd. And as always, we are presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. Have you been in a car accident? Did you get in an accident with a big rig? Call The Advocates. And when I say call The Advocates first, you guys. Don't call your insurance company. Call The Advocates first. Your insurance company is going to do everything they can do not to pay you. The Advocates have fought the fight you're going to fight with your insurance company. And not only that, they've won it. That's what makes them the best. Call The Advocates at theadvocates.com. 24/7, 365. You can talk with an injury attorney live online, and it won't cost you a dime at theadvocates.com. And when I say it won't cost you a dime, you never reach into your pocket to pay the advocates, because you don't pay the advocates unless and until they win your case. Big rig accident, motorcycle accident. Did you get into an accident in an Uber on one of those bird scooters? Yeah, get to the advocates at theadvocates.com. Obviously, a huge weekend in the NCAA tournament. And I got to tell you, I was instantly turned off by the AJ Dybantsa sucks. He's the reason BYU lost talk on, what was that, I guess, Friday. Like, it's remarkable to me. And maybe I've just been teed up all weekend on this. I don't know. It is remarkable to me how desperate people are. And I don't know if it's just because AJ Dybantsa made $7 million. He didn't. With wherever this $7 million to AJ Dybantsa came from, it's not real. They paid him, but I believe from the people I've spoken to, it's about $4.5 million in that neighborhood in NIL money. And I guess, Jake, the question is, was AJ Dybantsa a waste of money?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that AJ Dybantsa was a waste of money for BYU basketball. I mean, I think that obviously, you made an investment. I think that, that investment carried you into the tournament because, quite frankly, the rest of your roster didn't really do a whole lot for you. And I agree that, Rob Wright is that's he's a quality player, contributor, but ultimately this team lived and died on AJ Dybantsa, and that's really tough. And I think, some of the metrics coming out, from this weekend in the last few days of the tournament, kind of talking about how the veteran head coaches are the ones that are going to the Sweet 16. I think is a little bit of a tough pill to swallow if you're BYU with Kevin Young. I mean, we've spent loads of time talking about Kevin Young and just the nature of his development and some of the mistakes he's made and some of the high points he's had, and how long was it going to take him to really start riding this team a little bit and trying to make adjustments and trying to get more out of him. So for me, I just think that it's harsh to say that it was a waste of money, but surely there's no escaping for BYU, just generally speaking, the money that you spent overall in basketball didn't yield you, a Sweet 16. And that's what I think people point to. So for me, it's not really about AJ. I think that AJ did everything that you would want him to do. He developed. I don't really have a lot of complaints about him, but I would say that this next cycle for Kevin Young has to be really good. You have to go out and get more talent for this roster.
Well, I mean, we'll talk about what AJ Dybantsa is going to do here in a minute, but I think just the recruiting aspect of what AJ Dybantsa has brought to BYU. I mean, you look at in high school recruiting, BYU basketball owns the state of Utah, so it's not as though Dean Ruckert, who's a really good player, who's a local player, that's not the guy you're impressed with. You're impressed with Bruce Branch. That's who you're impressed with. Again, a guy that's a 5-star, one of the top players in the country coming to BYU. You're impressed with KJ Perry, from Citrus College in good old Glendora, California, right? Like those are the ones you're impressed with just on recruiting alone. Looking at BYU's recruiting composite, that's what you're impressed with. That's because of AJ Dybantsa. You can't look at AJ's numbers. He played 35 games. He averaged 35 minutes a game, scored 25 points, 7 boards. Like, you guys know the numbers. He is arguably the best player in college basketball. And yet he sucks. And he was a waste of money. And BYU gave it away. And the problem is you have a rookie head coach who looked like a rookie head coach. You have a roster that's not deep enough. You have injuries for days. If Richie Saunders is healthy, well, guess what? He's not. I don't want to hear about what would have happened if Richie Saunders was healthy, because he's not. And your best ability is your availability. There is no question AJ Dybantsa was worth every penny at twice the price. There's just no question about that. He brought excitement. He brought fans. Just the concession money they made on AJ Dybantsa, the jersey money, you cannot put a price tag on the momentum and the excitement that he put into Cougar Nation. And to me, it's short-sighted and it's foolish to be sitting here ripping BYU basketball and ripping AJ Dybantsa as a waste of money. Get a life, bro. Right? And I get worn out on it. I get worn out on this whole thing that we do. If it's not us, he sucks. Right? And obviously this is pointed at Utah basketball fan whose only joy in life is ripping BYU because, well, you don't have a basketball program.
Get a life, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, come on, man. Right? Like it's incredible to me that this is the conversation around BYU basketball. Nobody's talking about Kevin Young. Nobody's talking about a lack of depth. They're all talking about how AJ Dybantsa sucks. They're not talking about, injuries aren't an excuse, Monty. Sure, they're an excuse, but that's a reality, right? Those injuries are on a lack, in my opinion, a lack of preparation, a lack of proper strength and conditioning, and a rookie head coach. Plain and simple. They were not prepared physically to play at a level that was required. That's Kevin Young's fault. I think Kevin Young rode an emotional roller coaster all year. That's Kevin Young's fault. Do I believe Kevin Young will be successful? I don't know. If you have another season like this next year, I don't want to hear excuses about how he was a first-year guy learning that. No excuses. No excuses. And you know what? I'll play it now, even though it's not what my plan was. But listen to what Mick Cronin, the head coach at UCLA, said. Because AJ Dybantsa and KY, Mick Cronin is talking to you. And if Kevin Young doesn't listen to Mick Cronin, I don't know what other kind of wake-up call you need besides this.
It's no secret that you and Coach Hurley have kind of caught heat from the media about kind of sideline
demeanor. What are you talking about?
Sideline demeanor, working officials.
Have you given me heat?
I haven't.
So that's why you're the only guy to pay attention to.
Okay. Well,
nobody else even comes.
National media. National media.
I mean, I respect you. Come to the games, so I respect you. At least you're there. I mean, people that aren't there.
I know you don't care about it, but do you think it's fair that you have?
It's ridiculous. Everybody needs
criticism?
To get a life, bro. Get a life, man. Come on, man. Get a life, bro. You want to win big, but you think Coach Hurley's not supposed to be intense, but you want to win. Come on, man. We're not coaching Little League, buddy. Everybody doesn't get in at bat. Come on, man. Paying us a lot of money to win games.
Paying us a lot of money to win games. Not everybody gets a little participation ribbon in a bag of orange slices.
We're not coaching Little League, buddy.
That's not what this is. This isn't AAU. This isn't mom's pickup league, right? Like it's not good job, little dude. We're talking about hundreds of millions, $1 billion industry.
Come on, dude.
right? Like, come on, dude. I'd hit that. Like, Mick Cronin, I want you. The point is, BYU's not good enough, and it had nothing to do with AJ Dybantsa.
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing.
the obvious point about Richie is that hey, well, maybe if he had any sort of depth, anybody who could play significant minutes off the bench for you, maybe you wouldn't have had to play AJ and Richie so much. I mean that's the glaring thing, because and we've seen it in the tournament over the weekend. I mean, there were multiple times where you had, what was it, Sienna playing like 6 guys the whole game. Like, that's you're gonna get tired, dude. Like, I mean, that's an issue in college basketball. So I just the problem is that it shouldn't be an issue for BYU basketball, right? Like, I understand, your mid majors or whoever, like your lower end squads who they just don't have access to the same amount of talent that schools like BYU do. But for BYU, it just shouldn't be an issue. And that to me is the thing, is like, preseason, the hype was massive around the money you spent and like what this team was going to look like. And I just feel like the roster, I feel like the only thing that lived up to it this year was AJ Dybantsa. AJ Dybantsa lived up to it. AJ Dybantsa was as advertised, did everything he needed to do. And the rest of the roster basically flopped, in my opinion. And I like Richie. I think he's a wonderful player. The injury is unfortunate. But past that, I mean, what else is there really? I mean, again, BYU fans are gonna be like, oh, well, Rob Wright. Okay, well, yeah, Rob Wright was a contributor, no question about it.
Rob Wright should be your 3rd or 4th option.
Yeah,
and
I mean, he should be your number 2 option.
And he's not good enough to be and this is an argument I've had for months and months. I feel like months and months. It's weeks since Richie got hurt. I feel like Richie Saunders was the number 2. Rob Wright, Kennard Davis, I don't know what his job is. Play defense. Okay, cool. Please. Like, please do not. Yeah. Please. Kennard Davis. I hear about Kennard Davis one more time and how disappointing it is what it is.
Yeah.
It is. BYU wasn't good enough, and it had nothing to do with AJ Dybantsa. He did. And if you remember what we talked about with AJ on the show, we said, hey, you got to come back to college because you're not a dog. Well, Richie goes down, and what did I say on this show? You got to become an alpha male that attacks every possession. And what did he do? He attacked every possession and became the best player in the country.
Stay hard.
It's what I do. I make careers and stuff. But the point is, he became everything Darren Peterson never was. Right? There's nobody taking Darren Peterson over AJ Dybantsa right now.
Facts.
After that disaster at Kansas that we're going to talk about in a minute, but are you kidding me? Nobody's taking it. Please.
Yeah, what happened to
Come on,
bro? What happened to don't want to Platerson's gonna fix his image and get drafted over AJ Dybantsa.
Full body cramps, man.
Dude, he's got a better relationship with the Gatorade cooler. The cramps are gonna go away. Bill Self is gonna be fine. Like, it's all good, dude. There's nothing to worry about in Lawrence, bro. Everything is fine at Allen Fieldhouse, dude. It turns out everything is not fine, and it turns out everything in Provo is not fine, and AJ is going to go number 1. And this little cute little game, too. We need to play this clip, too. This cute little game that AJ wants to play about his mom. Bro, I understand that your mom is, like, in control of everything, and she makes all your decisions, and she's the one that is going to decide your future, yada, yada, yada. Bro, stop. Miss me with I need my mom's permission. You and I both know you're going to the NBA, and at some point you'll finish college.
What's a couple of months look like for you?
Just work out, see where life goes, talk to my mom about the future.
So is it up to you or mom?
Her, really. I'm going to go ask her. Whatever she says goes.
To get your jersey retired in the rafters, you have to graduate from BYU. You've talked about how graduation's important, so is your plan to graduate from BYU at some point? Yeah,
regardless. Like, if my mom decides that I will leave this year, if I come back, I decide to graduate. I was already talking to our academic advisor, Jessica Mullen, about our classes for next semester, so in the fall. But if I leave, then we'll talk about it for doing it online.
Where does Ace fit into this?
About the decision? Yeah, he listens to my mom, too, so he ain't got no say.
I believe that his mom has a significant voice in his life. Don't get me wrong. AJ Dybantsa is going to the NBA. You don't say no to being the number one pick. You don't. And if you do, I don't want you back at BYU. I'm honestly, you're too dumb to come back to BYU at that point. You can't handle it as a student at BYU if you can't make, better choices and stuff. He's not. If he comes back, Big Daddy. First of all, Big Daddy Magic will die of a heart attack if he comes back, and we can't have that on the show. We cannot risk that. But you're not coming back. I mean, 1%. 1%.
1/10 of 1%, bro.
Yeah. Get Buddy a bag of orange slices from mom and then go to the NBA draft. You're not coming back. You're not coming back.
Yeah.
Like you're there. It's just, come on.
Yeah, you're gonna go play for Commissioner Ears and ride off into the sunset. We all know what this is, dude.
Boyd Lake, he's the SEO king of America because we all know SEO is the way. Okay. Shooting for BYU was atrocious, and defense. I would put it all on defense, Boyd. I think when you shoot as many threes as we shoot in this game now, you're going to have long stretches where you can't hit water from the. Look at Duke the other day, right? Like water from.
Duke is not Duke.
Duke is not Duke, and then
Duke is not Duke and stuff.
TCU still sucks, so Duke came back.
Yeah,
but
we'll get to you.
Yeah, ass face. The point is, I don't. I'm a bad person. What do you want?
What?
BYU's defense, although it improved, I think we would all agree if you watched any amount of BYU basketball, their zone abilities got better the last 2.5, 3 weeks of the season. Their zone defense was much better in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Yet still, you felt like they were mentally detached from their job, which was, hey, it's called zone because, you guard a zone. And they got mentally detached. I can tell you who was good defensively. AJ Dybantsa was very good defensively. This team, can you imagine what this team would be like if they had a 6'9", 7-foot rim protector? Like a guy that you could put in there and then he could actually, score the ball at the other end. Can you imagine the pick and lob game with AJ Dybantsa and a 7-footer?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of soft Euro guards who I've got breaking news, college basketball guy. Hey, Mark Few, nice legacy of soft Euro players.
Oh.
Right? Like, stop with the Kostages of the world. Stop with the soft Euro player. They don't do well. Go get me somebody from Tim Few, Corner Canyon. Go get me like a guy that can play basketball.
This effing guy.
Yeah, this guy who's got rug burns from church ball. Right?
Yeah.
Like, go get me the best church ball player in Utah. I'll take him over a soft Euro every single day.
Little league, buddy.
Right? Like, BYU's problems were not AJ Dybantsa. It's a game. No one thinks AJ is not getting drafted. Yeah, come on, bro. He's the number one pick in the draft.
But I don't even disagree with that, Boyd. But the point is that at what point do we shift full into like, I'm going to evaluate all my options, right? I'm waiting for that line out of AJ Dybantsa. Hey, AJ, what's next for you? Well, listen, man, I'm going to evaluate all my options. I'll consult my mother, but I'm going to look at all my options and make the best decision for me and mine. Like, I'm waiting for him to roll out that nomenclature because we all know it's coming, dude. We know that coach speak is coming.
Yeah, BYU's problem is not players. It is Kevin Young. And we need to get on board with that. If you're not swinging for the fences, you're not trying. AJ was a massive swing. Did BYU hit a home run? No. But if you're not swinging, you're not trying. With AJ, I think they did hit a home run.
Yeah, they did hit a home run with AJ. I just think that they weren't able to put the rest of the roster together.
He made money. They made money. He's the number one pick in the NBA draft.
Pay that man his money.
Check. BYU's about to have the number one player in the NBA draft. Let that sink in. BYU basketball. Oh, they're just a bunch of white church ball players, Monty.
They don't want to play on Sundays, Monty.
Cool. AJ Dybantsa from BYU is about to be the number one player in the draft, even with his magic underpants, even with his decaffeinated beverages. He drinks Red Bull. You can make all the stereotypical jokes that I heard this weekend, but that's not going to change the fact that AJ Dybantsa is about to be drafted number 1 in the NBA draft at BYU. Good luck, because there is no excuse. This program should be a juggernaut.
Yeah,
you're not you're not getting a free pass. I'm just not willing to do it. AJ will listen to his mom, and she will tell him to go to the NBA draft. I'm sure she won't. He'll listen to Jamie Dixon, who's still bitching and moaning about the officials who did not screw you guys. Get some orange slices, exactly. Pretty sure BDM almost died this year having to root for BYU. That could be. If I'm BYU, I'm going out to get a big guy like a 7-footer at Texas, dude.
Yeah, my first priority if I'm BYU is getting scoring off the bench. It's the single biggest hole in your game. From there, once you've got scoring off the bench, then we can talk about defense. But I don't care what team you are. If you can't have a bench that contributes, it doesn't matter how good your defense is. You're not going to last, dude.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. The math teacher Maury Alvarez. I was referring to going deep in the tournament. Oh, I got you. No, I mean, there is never, when you have the best player in the country getting bounced in the first round, it should be a wake-up signal.
Yeah.
Right? It should be a wake-up signal. We don't have enough depth. We need depth. Right? You need depth. And you need an experienced coach. And make no mistake about it, there is going to be a lot of growing pains at BYU because KY Jelly, he is going to make mistakes. There's no question about it. Yeah. He's going to make mistakes. And it's because he's inexperienced. And everybody thought, NBA coach, he'll be fine. It doesn't work that way. It just doesn't work that way.
Nope.
It does not. And, let's see. Quint Whipple. Hello, Quint. BYU massive problem was the 6 injuries to kill the depth. How do I say this gently? Certainly injuries were an issue. Bigger problem, Kevin Young's inexperience or injuries? They were crappy defensively before anybody missed a game. That's a problem. That's a problem. Now, do they win a couple of tournament games if they're 100%? They're not 100%, so I have no idea. I don't play the what if game. Right? It is clear to me, as well as BYU football is doing in strength and conditioning, BYU basketball is not. You've got to turn it up.
I don't live in a what if scenario.
And Kevin Young has to be a better college basketball coach. Full stop. That's the whole thing.
And I think he will be. I think he will develop. I think that he clearly, started to get the picture in the second half of the season. I just think it was too late at that point. But the fact that he identified it and made some adjustments, I think is a good sign for BYU. I think that will, that should be encouraging. But I'm telling you, this portal season for him is it's crucial. It has to be dominant. You got to go out and get right now, contribute talent.
Yeah, look at Mark Few. Yeah, the Euro thing, Marcus makes a good point. The Euro thing is I am telling you, if your team is consistently built on transfers that you found from Europe, you're going to lose. BYU, Gonzaga is a great example of this. Like, you're soft. That's why you keep going out.
Gonzaga.
Mark, listen, I like Mark Few a lot. I think Mark Few is really good at what he does. Now we got to wonder if he's a national championship caliber coach. Is there any chance that Bruce Branch III, 5-star recruit, going to BYU, ever goes to Gonzaga?
Gonzaga.
I'm going to say no. No, he's not going to Gonzaga.
Gonzaga.
Right, because there's soft Euros who go to Gonzaga.
And mainly because they play nobody in the regular season. I mean, that might contribute to why you keep getting your ass kicked in the tournament.
I would agree.
Like, maybe play somebody, maybe build some grit, maybe build some want to. And then when you get to the tournament, you're not getting dominated physically. Like I don't think that the issue is Mark Few himself. The issue is that, yes, they need to get some size. They need to get some people that'll kick your ass down low for sure. But at some point, it doesn't become productive to just play this soft ass get me over schedule to get you into the tournament every single year. And the funny thing about Gonzaga is that now you're going into the Pac-12, and this is supposed to be like a better conference. This is supposed to be like, a tougher path for you or whatever, but still one where you can win that conference every year and do what you need to do. What's going to happen if you guys struggle in that conference? Not that I'm saying they will, but what if they did? I mean, what if you were, what if you were not what you are now after that move? Like, I just think it's there. I'm not so sure that move was a good idea for them. I'm not.
I don't think it helps Gonzaga. I really don't. And you're not firing Mark Few. Mark Few is, in my opinion, one of the most stable, secure jobs in college basketball.
Facts.
I mean, Gonzaga's not firing Mark Few.
No.
He's good enough to get you to the Sweet 16, and that's about it. And that's not bad money if you can get it. Right? I mean, that's not bad money. But back-to-back years where you got bounced in the second round, that's not what you're paying for at Gonzaga. Right? And I'm trying to think the last year, what was that, 2021, the year after, weren't they didn't they go to the national championship the year after COVID? And they haven't been the same team since. And they're just, but what do you want? What do you want? Do you want to go to the tournament every year, or do you want to try and win the tournament every year? Because those are two different job descriptions. Because not every program is in this thing to win the tournament every year. They want to go every year. They just don't.
Trying to get those shares, man.
Yeah. Capri Suns for everybody because we went to the tournament, right? We're going to upgrade the training table, the meal plan here at the school because you guys went to the tournament. Capri Suns. Okay. And
macchiato.
Now, if you guys had won a game and gone to the Sweet 16, we'd have got you some kombucha, but you didn't, so it's Capri Sun.
We're not coaching Little League, buddy.
Right? Like, that's what it feels like with Mark Few. We went to the tournament every year, and we lost in the second round. Fun little road trip, though, for the fans, right?
Yeah. Did Gonzaga fans check the gas prices when they went to watch your team lose? I mean, I'm just asking for a friend, dude.
Mark Few's not going anywhere. But dude.
Yeah.
Well, Boyd. And okay. So you guys may or may not know this. Shut up, Jake. You guys may or may not know this. I'm a huge North Carolina basketball fan. And I am certain that nobody here will like the top two guys on my list. Well, you don't care about Jay Wright. I think Jay Wright, who obviously is retired.
Does he still want to coach, though?
Yes.
You think he does?
I think he would come out of retirement for a job like North Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the other guy I want is Grant McCasland. And I know that our friends in West Texas, I know that Lubbock is going to be unhappy with that, but Grant McCasland is a stud. Those are the two guys. I want nothing to do with Nate Oates. Nothing. No, I don't want drug dealing and, illegal offing of people's existence happening at North Carolina.
Because it's illegal.
I don't want that at North Carolina. Yeah, I don't want that. So everybody's saying Nate Oates is the number one candidate. Honestly, if he gets hired, I may not be a North Carolina fan anymore. That would be a massive disappointment.
Oh, but Monty, Nate doesn't have any responsibility for his players. He's not their dad. He's not a cop.
I can't be there. I can't be with my players 24/7. Well, then you should find another job. Because your responsibility is to make sure that they're not putting certain items in cars, then driving that car to somewhere else, and then
pounds of items, dude.
And then, well, no.
Damn.
You look at, I'm telling you, you look at the situation with Brandon Miller and transporting that certain piece of hardware.
Equipment.
Yeah, that puts, makes people leak certain things and then they go to sleep for good. Like,
That's HIPAA.
I'm trying not to say the deadly words here, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like, I don't want that guy in North Carolina.
No.
We're going to wind up making a coaching change.
Yeah, bro's going to retire today. You can count on that.
I don't know if it was disastrous for the Big 12.
You started with 8 and you've got 3 left. This was not a good.
But you're in the
dude.
Sweet 16. You're in the Sweet 16. But look at who's left. The best of the best are left, and I keep trying to tell you.
There's one team that's missing, Monty. You know that one team I'm talking about that was allegedly the best of the best, and allegedly got screwed over and are victims, and it was goaltending, not goaltending.
They didn't get screwed over, Jake.
Well,
they lost. It's called losing, and Florida lost. Right, but look at my bracket. My bracket's a mess with Ohio State and Kansas. Right, my bracket's a mess because Gonzaga sucks. Right, and the High Point.
Babakwa.
Can Wisconsin do one fucking thing right for me? Just one thing out of the state of Wisconsin.
No, dude. No.
The Packers complied. Suck it. Like the Bucks have complied. Giannis,
yeah.
But I just whatever. It's fine. You look at the bracket. I told you go chalk. I lost Florida. But I still have Duke, Arizona, and Michigan. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you had Florida with that one.
You're stupid because you had Florida winning the national championship.
I'm aware, dude. I'm aware. Thanks, Florida, for letting Iowa beat you, dude. Thanks, Florida, for absolutely nothing. Thanks, Florida, for getting, my DMs filled up with drunk-ass Iowa fan last night trying to talk a bunch of crap about Iowa, dude. Like, I get it, dude. A squirrel finds a nut once in a while, and you guys just burn the house down in Iowa when they win one game against a big team. Like, I get it, dude. But it's a ridiculous loss, man. Couldn't be more disappointed in that program.
That was rough. CJ Vance and okay. Do you guys see who's number 2 in the Monty Show pool?
No. Who is it?
Dana Marie. Dana Thompson, I believe, is Dana Marie.
Okay. Dude, if Dana Marie, don't call me Oak State James, wins on that account, you're not getting the gift card. I'm just telling you. That's a James burner. It's a fake election. It's everything we don't want, dude.
Okay, first of all,
it's everything we don't want, dude.
James don't know ball, so there's not a chance he'd be number 2 in the bracket.
Get a life, man. Come
on,
man.
Not a chance. Top 5 are CJ Vance, Dana Marie, Michael Cruxall, Connor Carlisle, and Toot Pants. Those are your top 5.
Toot Pants,
Danny
dude.
Kiger. Danny Kiger.
Oh.
He's got Purdue winning it, so he won't win.
Yeah.
Joey B, then the dude, Brandon Price and Steven Smith. Ben Booth. There's a bunch of dudes tied at 10.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying I'm 15th.
Florida, bro. I don't even know what you say about that, man. That definitely is a disappointing performance out of them. Really
See,
surprised.
I tried to warn you.
Yeah.
I tried to warn you.
Yeah, I get it. You're right about everything. I'm dumb. I understand, dude. I hope you feel better, dude. I hope you feel better that you're right and I'm wrong, and whatever.
Always. Who had Nebraska on their bingo card this year? They're going nuts in Lincoln. Yeah. Yeah, they lost their quarterback and won some basketball games. Fat boy went to Oregon.
Yeah, he did.
Have you seen Raiola yet running around Springfield there, Jake?
Nope, I have not. Not yet.
Yeah, I'm here, and I'm here for it too, Shakes.
Yeah, so Robert Fowler's DMing me last night on Instagram, and
boy.
he's like, oh man, you guys have clear bias on your show, and this is a Big 12 show, and about Iowa. He's an Iowa fan and wanted to talk a bunch of junk in my DMs about how Iowa beat Florida. And I'm sitting here laughing at bro because I'm like, dude, why are you so mad about Iowa, dude? It's not that deep. It's like I'm not even a Florida fan, dude. I just think it was funny that Florida lost to Iowa in the tournament in a game that clearly they should have won. But they dropped the ball so hard that now Iowa fan is drunk off their ass all weekend after they win this game. And I just thought it was funny, man. It's
why
classic tournament.
I don't understand why people get so swollen about college basketball. Like, bro, I talk a lot of Big 12 because we have a massive following in Utah because we used to live there and we did our show there, and we were the #1 sports talk show in Utah for years. So you talk about what your audience is here to talk about. I'm not a BYU fan. I'm not a Utah fan. I'm a Notre Dame football fan and a North Carolina basketball fan. Like, I just love that people get so wrecked over the fact that, oh, yeah, bias. How many times have we said that? Have people said in the comments, you guys love the SEC? You want to suck off Greg Sankey. That doesn't have anything to do with the fact that I think he should be the commissioner in college football.
Makes me want to puke.
Right? What's one got to do with the other? Like, just settle down, man.
Yeah, bro was not amused. And the funny part is he DM'd me out of the blue. Like, I didn't even do anything. That was the funny part.
I didn't even know you were an Iowa fan, Bobby. Had no idea. How the hell am I 30th? The ego hurts. Well, probably because you picked West Virginia, who I'm not sure was in the tournament, sir.
We're keeping a book right now. We ass.
Really want Houston to win it midweek, Coog says. You're going to have a pretty good chance. They're good. Alex, hello. Rock and Rant, hello. Ooh, Miami. Nebraska, now a basketball school. 2026, man. I agree, Jake. I took great pleasure in watching Iowa eliminate Florida after Florida fan dumped on Miami 6 hours later for losing as a 7 seed, right? I just think, listen, Florida was a flawed basketball team going into this tournament, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They were not. That's not a team that's built. The reason St. John's is built to win is because they're just not nice people, right? Like, you're pounding box in an Italian restaurant. You're going to do well in sports.
Hope you enjoyed the salad, dude.
It was that what we're referring to it now as, a salad. Right, but Ricky P all up in the Italian restaurant. Okay, he's going to win. Hire him. I'd take Golden to be my next coach at North Carolina. That'd be all right. Why would he leave Florida? I don't know. But this is a Big Ten, SEC, ACC, Mountain West show. Don't forget Gloria Navarez is in our pocket. Remember all that flack? Florida forgot how to play basketball the last minute. Mental meltdown. Because when have they been tested? Right? When have they been tested? Bobby Fowler. Now we are on the way to Iowa City to watch Iowa women in round 2. Okay.
Who are you? Oak State James in Texas? Like, what is this, dude?
Are you married to a Walmart manager? One 1 o'clock on Monday. Nobody cares. Gonna stop at Brugger's Bagel Bakery for some bagels
Buc-ee's.
before the game. You're gonna stop at Buc-ee's? Before the game, best bagels in the country.
Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about right here.
Why
though,
is
dude.
everything got to be the best bagels in the country?
But like that, and then this little sentiment right here. We're going to watch Iowa women in round 2, 1 o'clock on Monday. WTF? Did you think they were going to be in prime time or something, brother? Like, did you think that they were going to be like national TV and like, you know, like what? Again, bro.
Well, I'm more impressed
on.
with the fact that you've sampled every bagel place in the country now, and you can certify Buddy's Bagel Joint as the best bagel factory in the country. That's impressive. I mean, wow. I don't know how you were. Anyway, go Buckeyes. Okay, well, they got knocked out, so probably not going anywhere. They won't be playing at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
WTF.
You know.
Right.
Have you enjoyed the NCAA tournament, Jake?
Yeah, I mean, I think it hasn't been like the best tournament we've seen of late, I don't think, but it's been solid. I mean, we've definitely had some, you know, we've had some upsets. We've had some really good games. You know, I think that the, I can't remember the game off the top of my head where they almost had that buzzer beater. The ball's halfway down and it pops out on them. You know, I think that there have definitely been some good moments, dude. I think that it's been nice that I can flip on the TV and know that there's something to watch.
You mean
I will
True
say
TV?
That.
You mean
yeah,
true,
like
true
TBS, TV. TNT, True TV, like all the T channels, you know. You know, it's just been nice that there's been something on, and I think that it's been enjoyable. I have enjoyed it. Yeah.
I think it's been good. Do you think Jamie Dixon has enjoyed this tournament?
Bro, the victimhood is incredible. Like, honestly.
Somebody needs to explain to me why you can't just admit you got your ass beat, Jamie.
Oh, if I had a conversation with him, there was no raising of the voice. It was conversation as he had asked for, and you know, what are you going to do? I mean, obviously, we know what it was. Everybody knows what it was, and you know, just you know, it's what can you say? What can you say? It's a big play, and then you compound it. And I didn't cuss. I didn't say anything bad. Had a conversation with him. You know, it's big, a huge impact on the game.
Well, yeah, your technical foul was because you lost your composure because you were whining about a bad call. And then you wanted to say that the officials favored Duke. The problem for TCU and TCU fan is you're not talented enough to defend without fouling like it's your job. Oh. You cannot commit fouls in this tournament and win. It doesn't work. And TCU is not talented enough. They lost their composure. They wanted to get physical and they wanted to pull guys to the floor. And was the officiating good? No, it was terrible on both ends. But why did Duke get more whistles? Because they attacked you and you had no answer. And in the second half, you didn't come out of the locker room. And then your coach got a technical that ended the game. Because Jamie Dixon's a whining little bitch. That's what happened. You got beat, you lost your composure, and then you wanted to blame it on the officials.
Facts.
If one play, and I agree, the ball hit the backboard on the block shot. So that one play ended the game for you. Oh, no, it didn't. That's right. You just weren't talented enough, and Duke showed up. Oh. The first half was the worst half of basketball I've seen Duke play all year. Plain and simple. The worst half of basketball I've seen Duke play all year. What happened in the second half? Oh, that's right. They remembered that they were playing for their season, and they came out and throttled you, and you never competed. You just wanted to foul. And when you foul teams that, you know, actually shoot free throws well, you're going to lose the game by a lot. And you kept fouling. And then you fouled again. And you fouled some more. And then you fouled some more. And then when you were done fouling some more, you fouled some more. You're not talented enough. You're not good enough. And Jamie Dixon, hey, nice job, Jamie Dixon, leaving your most important player in the game when he had 2 fouls late in the second half. You should have taken him out. You didn't. He picked up a third. And then what happened? Yeah, he fouled out of the game. Because you're not a good enough coach. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And yet, TCU fan wants to whine and complain about how it was the officials' fault and you're not better than Duke. Duke absolutely throttled you in the second half.
Yeah.
Owned. Period. Pretty simple.
Yeah. Set the tone, got after you, put you in bad positions. You committed the fouls, game over. And the funny part is like that adjustment is all Duke had to do to beat you. Like you played like the best half of basketball you've played in your entire life in the first half. And then they just come out in the second half and completely turn the tide by just, getting downhill on you and putting you in bad spots. And you had no answer for that. I mean, I don't even want to get started on all the turnovers, dude. Like at some point you have to be accountable to that, dude. And TCU fan, what's even funnier about it too is TCU fans like, oh, well, man, Monty, I told you so. We beat Ohio State. We're a great team. My God. And then what happens? Yeah, he came out against Duke, and I get Buddy, the fake TCU fan, Oak State James, tweeting at me about how.
Did he really?
Oh yeah, multiple times, dude. A whole thing over the weekend, dude. Oh, well, I'm not going to guarantee that quote unquote we're going to beat Duke, but we're going to be competitive. Well, yeah, turns out that didn't really work out for you, dude. And I don't understand.
At least he didn't go Big Daddy Magic and send you videos.
Well, no, he requested a call. So he actually DM'd me this morning and said, hey, if you're going to call me, you need to give me at least a half hour after the show starts because I'm still getting ready.
Nobody's calling.
He messaged me this morning and asked.
No.
And he was salty that we didn't call him on Friday as well because of the Ohio State win. So, there's he's trying to stake a claim.
Okay. Oh, Bobby's a good dude. I'm only breaking balls. Bobby's a good dude. Rock and rant. I don't know who has the best bagels in the country. Oh God, did the bagel thing take off? But just saying the odds that it's somewhere in Iowa City kind of goes in the face of likely statistics. I'm going to guess it's not in Iowa City. To be honest.
Okay. TBH.
And this is who James is. James is the TBH. What? I can't remember. TR. Huh?
FTR.
Yeah.
GOT, greatest of all time.
You can't just say it. You have to go full, to be honest. Don't you think it's odd that TCU women are not in the Fort Worth region? No, because I don't care what region they're in.
Dude, there's this whole conspiracy theory from the TCU fan base about how TCU had to travel to like across the country and nobody values TCU and they got screwed by the officials, dude.
They didn't. Nobody values TCU. And the funny thing is, James doesn't value TCU. James is an Oak State fan who wants to be a TCU fan because he did his demon at TCU.
He has his MDiv, dude.
Look, what you do with your MDiv rectally is up to you. I really don't care. But you don't give a rat's ass about TCU. And you going at Jake about how we're going to put you on the show, we're not going to put you on the show. You refused the last time we tried to put you on the show. And then you were a weirdo when you got on the show. It's not my fault. You made poor life decisions with Walmart managers, dude. It's not my fault.
I'm sorry if you're offended by that.
Iowa, the land of bagels. Yeah, I'm done commenting on. Oh, stop.
Here we go, dude.
Is this what we're going to do today?
Bro, if you're going to do this, you've already cemented yourself as the next James, dude. This is exactly what James did when he got called out on his nonsense. And he's like, I'm boycotting the show. I'm never coming back. And then bro was back like 4 segments later, dude. Come on, dude.
Just have fun with it, you guys. Good night. Have fun with it. You just don't need to go crowning some spot in the middle of a cornfield as the best bagel shop.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, it's probably too late for you now. First round blue bloods. UNC out in the first round. Kansas out in the second round. Kentucky out in the second round. UCLA out. UCLA is not a blue blood. Duke is the only one still great. I'm going to say I don't agree with that. Michigan's not good. Iowa State's not good.
Hell of a game by Iowa State. Yeah.
Right? Like, but if you look at the, I don't know how that's not a great take. You're telling me Arkansas is not legitimately good? You're telling me the run that Texas has gone on here with Wiretap Boy is not good?
Wiretap Boy.
Purdue's not good?
Book Richardson's best friend, dude. Come on.
Michigan and Alabama? No, they're not good. They're not good. Iowa State sucks. Houston, Illinois,
ass.
Because this team is just hot ass.
Are you kidding? Iowa's not legitimately good? Michigan State and UConn? No, they're not good. They suck. Duke? They suck. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Monty called James a weirdo. Well, he has some weirdo tendencies. When you call your wife ugly after pounding a
Dude, he
Walmart
didn't say
manager,
ugly. He said not hot. There's a slight difference, okay?
My interpretation. You know, you're misintending my words, but the point is, I don't think it's normal to call your wife unattractive and then pound a Walmart manager who pounded a Walmart manager. But it didn't really.
I want that known.
Yeah, the chronology of that was backwards. You don't pound a Walmart manager who pounded a Walmart manager and then find the new wife and say that she's not hot. Not, or at least that's not how I would do it. You know, if you don't want me on the air, then at least watch the video I did.
He did a video too. He did a YouTube video on it too.
I'm not watching your video. No, I'm not. Dude, one, I'd have to know you did a video to watch it. And two, you're not a TCU fan. So why would I watch you talking about TCU? And give me credit for what I said. Probably not. I said that I said if their role players didn't step up, they would lose. When did you say that? I don't even know. Whose role players? Duke's role players? They stepped up, so you lost. What are you talking about? Like, do you guys understand?
Timothy.
I'm not going to your YouTube channel to find what you said about TCU.
We're not coaching Little League, buddy.
Like, why would I go searching your YouTube channel for it?
You already tell it. We already know what you said because you comment on the show, dude. We don't, it's not.
See how that works? You want to promote yourself on YouTube? You do that, man. But you're an Oak State fan. You have no frame of reference on TCU. You do not. Come on, please. TCU lost because their role players dropped the ball. Oh wait, I thought it was officiating.
Yeah, no, I'm being genuine now. I'm not busting your balls. I thought I can't believe that you're actually saying this. You said you were all over Twitter saying that it was officiating. So which one is it, dude?
Right. How would I know you said it Friday morning? You didn't say it on this show Friday morning. You know, it's on the record.
What's that?
What record?
The Bucky's record, dude?
What record?
Dude, you're awesome, man. Never change. That's incredible, bro.
Never, ever change.
Incredible, bro.
I said it Friday morning. It's on the record.
Dude is going full Jamie Dixon with it, dude. Like you did a presser.
How self-important is that? It's on the record. God bless you.
That's incredible, dude. Honestly, like I'm not even being a red ass. That's amazing, dude.
This is what makes I Hate TCU James the best listener on this show. This is why you're amazing, because you say shit like it's on the record. Whose record? Like your criminal record?
People will read your positive shit.
On the record is the new I have to go chart? Yes, exactly right. James drinks Bud Light. No.
Well,
No, James is the guy. James is the guy who drinks Bartles and James wine coolers. He don't drink no beer. He gets a brisket sandwich at Buc-ee's and then drinks a wine cooler from Buc-ee's.
Probably.
You know, Bobby Fowler.
Hey,
I would
Bobby.
make Ruger's videos today for you, but I'm sure James already has one made, and I wouldn't want to offend the oath of the rectory. Exactly right. See? Play the game.
Bro,
Play
that's
the
a
game.
good comment, dude. Thank you.
Throw your nonsense onto Oak State James, who just caught a stray. I'm here for it. I'm here for it, dude.
The oath of the rectory, bro.
Like, this is an all-time. This is, where is it? The on the record comment. This right here is an all-timer. It's on the record. Like, what record?
James, you know what you should do, dude? Here's some free game for you, okay? And just say you're welcome after I tell you this. Instead of standing in front of a blank wall when you do your YouTube videos, what you should do
you
is
watched it.
Well, I saw the preview of it. You can see the preview. I don't want to go that far saying I watched it, but in the preview, it's basically a blank tan wall with
wait a minute. I want to understand that you wasted minutes on this. You went and found his YouTube channel and saw a preview.
He tweeted it. There was this whole tweet. There was a whole timeline bit. Yeah. So, but on Twitter, you can see his background. So anyway, dude, just sit at your kitchen table with whatever's behind you with a microphone on the table and pretend like you're doing a press conference and then spew your takes. Because
That's
at least
what I
then
do.
when you say it's on the record, at least you spoke it into a legitimate microphone and made it look like a press conference. That would be funny.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. You know, go check the transcript.
We'll check the tower
you
logs.
Guys, I said it Friday. It's on the record, for crying out loud.
Check the logs.
Oh, we'll get to the airmen in a minute. Welcome to the nightmare. Monty, can you please read back James' court reporting? We need to know what was on the record.
So there wasn't a flight that left Fort Worth on Friday morning. Is that what you're telling us?
Again, I watch Landman. I know about TCU cheerleading. There was no flight, right? Check the transcript. TCU James with receipts, yeah. You know, I just don't understand the whole. That's good stuff, James. That is good stuff. That's the stuff where I say to myself, I need James to step up and put it on the record every day.
Yeah, FTR.
Like FTR, bruh. That's what I need. I need it on the record every single day. And I don't want to have conversations about it. I want it on the record every day. What channel do you guys do your Friday show on? Since I apparently keep missing it, do you do it live from Brugger's Bagels? Like, this is the bagel thing now. Bobby Fowler, instantly a Monty Show legend now.
Well, Monty, does a bagel have one or two holes in it? Because, you know, if you take it pre-cut, it's only one hole. But after you cut it, it's two holes. So I'm just trying to understand.
How many holes are in a bagel, Monty? I got one on top and one on bottom, and then you cut it in half, and it's 4 holes instead of 2. And who doesn't like 4 holes instead of 2, Monty?
And listen, you know, as a TCU fan, I love the everything seed bagel, you know, but I don't know if that's how you guys roll, but that's how we TCU fans roll.
Yeah, I love all kinds of seed in my bagel. Well, yes, we'll do it live. We'll do it live.
Yes.
The biggest load that we've seen.
No, you can't handle the truth.
Check the logs.
Check the Tower Chiefs logs. Oh, we'll get to the airmen in a minute. You know.
Only to never get to the airmen.
Yeah, it's on the charting. That's right. You know, they do the Friday show on the back 9.
You're damn right we do.
Had a rough back nine. It's fine. All right. Is Bill Self done at Kansas? Get in the comment section. Let's talk about it. If you're watching us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, anywhere, make sure you get to YouTube. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe. And James will chart for you. Here on the Monty Show, presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com. Do you believe Bill Self has coached his last game at Kansas? I kind of do. I think the thing that Bill Self, if we're going to talk about Mark Few, don't we have to talk about Bill Self? Mm-hmm. The difference is Bill Self has won national championships, right? there is no question. There is no question that you can see the writing on the wall with Bill Self. Jake, do you believe that Bill Self has coached his last game at Kansas?
I'm not sure that I believe that yet. I think that people are all over the health issues angle, and that, oh, he's got these health issues, and and that's holding him back, and yada yada yada. And I don't know, dude. If Bro has health issues still that are that bad, he wouldn't have handled this season the way he handled it. I mean, I think that Bill Self is a hell of a basketball coach. I think when you look at this season, this team clearly struggled with the don't want to play syndrome. And it's really a shame, because if they had the kind of continuity that I think they were capable of, I do think they'd still be playing. But the sheer fact that this team devolved into basically one-on-one basketball on the offensive end, and just didn't have, they refused to run sets. They refused to, in my opinion, do what they were coached on. I do think that the part of the issue is that they just, I don't know why you wouldn't run sets, man. I can't believe that Bill Self was just watching his team get burned to the ground over the weekend and was like, yeah, we're not going to call plays or run sets or do anything. I just can't believe that. And so I don't think he's coached his last game. But I also think that KU fan, you need to learn your Penn State lesson with James Franklin right now. You don't just run a guy like Bill Self out of the chair. You don't just say, oh, man, well, we haven't made it past a certain point. So we're just going to forget about the national championships you won, and we're going to forget about the things that you did and all the contributions you've made, because you haven't won a national championship in however long it's been. I just think that's such a short-sighted take, dude.
He's got, doesn't Bill Self, I think Bill Self has
national championships. Yes.
National championships at KU.
Yes.
And the guy, look, Eugene is a stud. His name is William Eugene Self, by the way. I heard Charles Barkley say that, I think, who sucks on college basketball.
Yeah.
But he's won the tournament twice. Now, again, it's been 4 years since he won the tournament. I mean, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
But the guy, I mean, he's been there for going on 24 years. I mean, come on. He's going to make the decision on his own. And I think he's coached his last gig, dude. Like, I think he's done coaching at Kansas. I think Bill Self doesn't want to die on a sideline.
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be my guess.
Dude. If that's the case, man, that's a sad day in college basketball. Really, it does. I don't. Again, man, we haven't even gotten to the Kyle Whittingham stuff, but it does make me harken back to that. Like, this guy's a legend, dude. This guy is everything you'd want out of a head basketball coach, and I just wouldn't be in a hurry to fire him or like push him out. I would talk to him, certainly. I'd have the conversation. I would say, hey, Bill, like, what are you thinking here, man? Like, we need to know, just as an athletic department and as an institution, like, how are you feeling? Where are you really at with the health stuff, and what are we really looking at here? Because he's the only one who really knows. I don't care what anyone says, doctors, family. Yes. Like, Bill's the only one who really knows. And for me, I don't want him. I don't want him to suffer or have some incident on the sideline, dude. That's not at all. I do not want that. But I just am a little bit tired of legendary head coaches who have nothing left to prove in the game getting run out of their gig because they've had a couple of seasons that maybe didn't work out the way that they would have wanted to. Like, let's not crucify the guy because don't want to Playderson wasn't good enough to get you a better seed, dude. I'm not here for that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt that that's an issue. I don't think in any way, shape, or form, much like Mark Few, I don't think that Kansas is trying to fire Bill Self. I think Bill Self is thinking about retirement. I mean, he's done everything he can do in college basketball. He's got more money than he'll ever need.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got real health issues. And I think that is every day that Bill Self coaches basketball, he likely shortens his life.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think he probably is aware of that. Right. So my feeling is that I don't know why he would continue. Right. I don't know why he would continue.
That's why. That's the only reason why, because he loves what he does. And I have full respect for that.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. John says KU Medical can rebuild him. The $1 million man.
It is actually like one of the best medical institutions in the country.
No question about it.
Yeah.
Self-name pulls money and players for less money. It does. Alex says, yes, I agree. Kansas doesn't want to make the mistake of firing Bill Self like Penn State did with James Franklin. Well, didn't you need to fire James Franklin, though?
Yeah. Need is a strong word, dude. I think that they were a little hasty doing that.
Yeah.
Given
Daniel
how long
Dixon.
it took you to get another candidate in.
If KU fires their coach, who do they hire to replace him? I don't think they'll fire him.
It's tough to say, dude. You're not going to be able to answer that until the tournament's over. Until the season's over.
Look at this breaking news. Texas State James.
Wow.
Bill Self's coming to Texas State. Wow.
Scriptwriters did a great job with that one.
Wow, dude. Now, this is on the record reporting here, or this is just your opinion? I just want to know the difference, okay? Because it's really important to me that as someone who speaks on the record once in a while, we're able to, acknowledge the difference.
OTR on the record, which is different than over the road trucking, but on the record, and stuff. Does Bill Self survive Peterson? How much damage did Darren Peterson do to himself?
A lot.
I mean,
a lot.
That's a kid who should go back to Kansas. He should stay at KU or transfer and play another year. Go to BYU.
Listen, I also think that that Kansas has to consider that. I mean, I'm assuming that don't want to Playderson's going to go to the draft. I'm just assuming
I would assume
that. But if it's at all an option for him to come back, I mean, you gotta seriously look at that.
I think you absolutely have to look at it. There's no doubt about it. I mean,
yeah,
I don't even know what you do with that. Yes, health issues and a lack of success in the last 4 NCAA tournaments. Well, I mean, obviously, losing in the round, they got bumped out first round last year, but they got knocked out in the second round the last 3 of the last 4 years. Now it is, I believe. So again, I just look at, and this is going to be your boy catching a stray, so I'm sure it'll upset you. Mark Few or Dan Lanning? Dan Lanning or, oh, wait, you can't compare him to Bill Self because Bill's got 2 national championships.
Agreed.
Right? But I saw
what's the difference between Dan and Mark Few? The clear difference. Oh, no, there's a clear difference. The clear difference is that Mark Few's been doing this a long-ass time and Dan hasn't.
I just mean their results. They're both disappointing. I mean,
okay.
You know Dan very well. So, anytime I can throw a stray at Dan Lanning,
If you guys ever want to kick it, we'll flow.
But I think it's a really good comparison. And I think Oregon basketball or Oregon football and Gonzaga basketball are the exact same program. Like, you're good. You're just not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
You go to the tournament every year. You go to the playoffs. You just don't win. Win a couple of tournament games. Yeah, you win a playoff game. Right? But how good do you need to be? That, I guess, is the question. How good do you need to be?
I think that depends who you ask.
I mean, Bill Self's got rings. And if he's not healthy, the guy should retire. You know, the silliness is welcome version from the world news. It is. Look, if we can play the Bobby Bagels game with Robert Fowler, I say we do it. You know.
Yeah, we should.
Can that be his new nickname, Bobby Bagels?
Yeah, you should just change your name to Bobby Bagels. I agree with that, dude. Just change your name to Bobby Bagels. That's a beautiful YouTube name.
You know. What draft pick would you spend on Darren Peterson?
I wouldn't.
He's going to have to show himself to be a dog. And I just don't think he is. He's not. Elite teams can defend him. And he shrinks in those moments. It's great you did it during the regular season, even with full body cramps. But, you know. For the record, Kansas firing Bill Self could result in him pulling a Kyle Whittingham somewhere else. He gets to decide when. Well, yeah, they're not going to fire him. No way. No serial smiler waiting to pounce behind Bill Self. That could probably be true. You know. Why would you want a kid back who clearly doesn't care about the game? Well, I don't know that he doesn't care about the game. We don't know what happened behind the scenes. FTR, you know, BTS at Kansas. We don't know. For the record, never mind. You know, we don't know. Texas State James. My sources tell me that Kansas will replace Bill Self with Mike Gundy.
I'm a man.
And that's on the record.
Okay.
On the record.
So James has reported that Mike Gundy is going to be the new basketball coach at KU. I like it.
The on the record comment has to be
all time, dude.
All timers.
So get your facts straight.
I don't even know what he meant by that.
It doesn't matter what he meant by that. It only matters how people took it.
I mean, it's 8:00 in the morning in the great state of Texas, and James is already on the record.
Already, dude. Yep.
I'm a carb-eating motherfucker.
Right? Like, I think, yes. Yeah. Mick Cronin to KU, breaking news. Mick Cronin's my guy, dude. Come on, dude.
Get a life, man. Come on, man. Come on, dude. Are you raising your voice at me?
Who is this Texas James? It's probably Dana Marie's burner. James has so many burner accounts, he cannot remember one of them. Exactly right.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Bobby Bagels.
Bobby Bagels, dude. That's your new name. It's over for you, dude. I'm sorry. Bobby Bagels is your name. Like, we cannot go back to Bobby Fowler or Robert Fowler 8823 when you could be Bobby Bagels. That just works too perfectly, dude.
Okay, let me ask you this. What kind of schmear do you put on your bagels, Jake?
Just plain Jane cream cheese, man. Straight up.
So no blueberry cream cheese,
toasted. No.
I
mean, I could. I mean, I've had strawberry before. I've had blueberry before, but for me, there's nothing better than a nice Asiago bagel toasted with some nice fresh cream cheese, dude. It's awesome.
Asiago. See, every time James says something stupid, you find a way to go stupider.
Dude, it's not stupid, bro. Asiago bagel is gas. Like, everyone knows that. That's been on the record, dude.
No, it hasn't. Whose record?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Whose record? Right? Is this the secret crypt keeping in the rectory? You know. Alex says if Bill Self has real life health problems, then he should think about retiring. It's up to Bill Self, right? Self didn't stand and coach up players because Peterson and others were unresponsive through the year. He folded with a bad hand.
Bro, what are you talking about, bro?
I don't know.
What does that even mean?
I don't know. For James, it's on the rector. Exactly. It's right. Risky to use a top pick on don't want a Platerson. He is load management on steroids. Body cramps, Rock.
Yeah, I agree.
Rock, he had body cramps.
Rock, dude.
Full body. It's
yeah.
terrifying.
Yes.
Tough to deal with.
Yes.
Full body cramps. Right? You saying that you had full body cramps because they made you run too much? Who did that? Had to be ChatGPT.
Had to be.
Like, what a stupid thing to say. So Kansas doesn't have sports nutrition that keeps you hydrated? You can't get some. Anyway, you guys get my point. Like, what are we doing? Daniel Dixon, on the record, info have been found on the dark web. There you go. Get on the dark web.
There you go.
It's comments like on the record for why we need a James Wiki page. That's
Agreed,
what I'm saying.
dude. Who's going to do it? I'm not doing it. I have too much on my plate already. Other stuff to worry about. But that is a comment section, viewer of the show responsibility. Who wants to
It's
step
on
up?
the record. Bobby Bagels from Des Moines.
Yeah, dude. There it is. There it is. He did it. The most recent comment, he changed his name. Let's go, baby. I love it. I love it.
There you go. Bobby Bagels.
Yes. Bobby Bagels, dude. Iconic.
Only after dropping a pumpernickel reference. Pumpernickel is so underrated. So underrated. I'm telling you, pumpernickel and pita bread, so underrated. You toast pumpernickel or you toast pita bread. Oh,
How about that?
dude. Oh, so good. Bobby Bagels is his mafia name. James can be Jimmy 10 times, not for his body count, but for his burner accounts. Jimmy 10 times. I like it. I like it a lot. Lox and cream cheese is the only way to go. Okay. If I'm going bagel, I'm going cinnamon raisin with some kind of schmear on it. That or, blueberry bagels are really tough to beat.
They are.
Blueberry bagels and blueberry donuts.
Yeah, blueberry
so tough to
donut
beat.
hole is gas.
Bro, we went to this, I think it's called Sugar Works, where we get our cookies. Pike Marketplace, which isn't too far from the crib, has this cookie factory that just...
Yeah.
I had a peanut butter cookie yesterday. It was straight gas. Unbelievable. He needs electrolytes. It's got what plants crave. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Thank you, James. Cinnamon raisin. Are you Al Qaeda? I am. It's TCU James. No, it's Jimmy 10 times.
Yeah.
You're not a TCU fan. Stop, bro.
Let's ride.
Like, do you see how ridiculous it is that you're a TCU fan? Like, do you understand? Like, it
doesn't work, dude. That's not the thing.
It doesn't work at all. It does not work at all. Should North Carolina fire Hubert Davis?
Yes.
You would fire him. I would absolutely fire. Well, he's going to retire.
Or
but
resign,
they should absolutely, he should be out. North Carolina deserves better.
Agreed, completely. That's not even in question. I think that's one of the easiest decisions coming out of this weekend.
I don't think there's any doubt about it. I think you have to fire him. The problem is, and as the resident North Carolina fanatic on this show, and I do love me some Tar Heel basketball.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem.
Here's the deal.
Most people think Hubert's out. Okay. His Live with Hubert Davis weekly radio show canceled this week. He had one of the most obtuse press conferences I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I will never understand why he got the job in the first place, because he has not done a good job at North Carolina. And B, how big of a job is North Carolina basketball?
It's one of the biggest jobs in college basketball. It's right there with Duke. 100%. It's right there with Duke.
I think that's very interesting. I think when you look at, I just don't even, the thing that worries me is you're going to go with somebody stupid like Kenny Smith or Jerry Stackhouse. I don't want to see that.
Dude, they need an operator, dude. You can't go, and this is what I feel like college programs do a lot right now, where they go, okay, well, we need a new head coach, so let's just go get like an NBA legend or something, like just a huge name versus somebody who, would obviously be like a good choice or like an operator at the college level. And that's why you can't do any of those NBA guys you just referenced. That's just not a smart move.
What about Billy Donovan from the Bulls?
Yeah, I mean, dude's got experience, clearly, right? I mean, he's done it before. Yeah.
Big time. Big time. Won national championships at Florida. Has been a disaster for the Bulls, frankly. I wonder if he'll be a name. Like I look at Mark Byington at Vandy, I think is a name. But I mean, the guy, if you were asking me number one, Jay Wright.
Right.
And then McCaslin would be number two for me. And Tech fan, I'm sorry. But he'd be number two for me. I mean, I wouldn't hate. I mean, I was reading a list last night, like Todd Golden at Florida. He's not. Why would Todd Golden leave Florida?
And why would you want him at UNC? Like, you need a
because
guy
he's a fantastic coach.
Yeah,
Todd Golden is arguably the standard of coaches in college basketball.
Yeah, but what did you just watch?
Well, I watched him win a national championship last year, and then you had a disappointing end to the NCAA tournament.
Right, after you didn't
on a controversial play.
After you didn't replace the talent that you had lost. Like, I get it, he's a good coach, but it's a very select group, dude. It's an extremely select group. You need to follow, with all due respect, you need to do what Duke did in a sense, dude. Why is John Shire work so well? Because he's younger. There. He played there. He gets it. He understands the East Coast. He understands how to recruit that part of the country. Like you have to have a guy that.
Dude, Todd Golden is all of that and more. Todd Golden or John Shire? I'll take Todd Golden. I maybe I'm just over the top on it. I mean, how old is Todd Golden? 38, 39? Can't be more than 40 years old. Like, I mean, he's everything that you want. The guy recruits at a high level, coaches to win. I mean, gets in fights with other coaches on the sidelines. Who doesn't love that?
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. That's what we're about, right?
Right? I mean, it's a huge job. Yeah, Grant McCaslin's my dude. I love that guy. He's doing a great job. Who do you want at North Carolina? I'd like to see Sherritt's. I mean, Grant McCaslin's high on the list. I don't know who the number one should be.
I don't think you can't answer that right now, man. I think you got to wait till the tournament's over. I think you got to wait and see how it all plays out. Obviously you're going to start your hunt after today's over. I would be shocked if the vacancy wasn't open today. It will be open today.
Yeah, it'll be open today.
So that should get taken care of today. I would hope that, yeah.
My first call would be Jay Wright.
Right.
I mean, that'd be my first. He'll probably say no, but is there a bigger job in college basketball than North Carolina? I mean, Duke's not open ever.
Well, what I'm going to say is that's eye of the beholder. I mean, just generally speaking, yeah, UNC is one of the biggest jobs in college basketball. That's just undisputed.
KU or UNC?
UNC.
Probably UNC.
UNC. Yeah.
Ask Roy.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Look at Roy Williams. I mean,
yep.
I that's a tough one. Grant McCaslin's such a stud, dude. That's not a bad hire. Jay Wright would be a home run. Yeah, I don't know how you go wrong with that. Nate Oates, I struggle with because I think they'll go after Nate Oates. I do. I don't think Bubba Cunningham cares. I don't think Bubba Cunningham cares. I think Nate Oates is a scumbag, in my opinion. I would not want him at North Carolina. And why would you leave Alabama? Look how well they're running through the tournament right now. He's a good basketball coach. But that he's that guy that I just don't like his morals. I don't like that he'll look past a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you were just short of a key of weed. Right? Like they allegedly had your player transacting with marijuana.
Yep.
Allegedly. And you were fighting for him, and he's your guy, and you love him, and he's lit, bro. It's essentially a key of weed. They found 2.1 pounds of weed allegedly in his apartment. I don't want Nate Oates at North Carolina. That's not me. I don't know. UNC is no Dookie, but Duke is different. Duke is, the job's never open.
Yeah. And really hasn't been open in 30 years.
I mean, that job was not, they were not out interviewing people.
No.
Get Sampson out of Houston. He's going to retire. I don't think he's going to keep coaching past Houston. I think he's going to retire after this season. With Kansas and UNC probably looking for new coaches, other schools are going to be extending current coaches with more money. Okay. Here's Jimmy 10 times.
You got to be kidding me, dude.
I give Ohio State credit. That's a good team. No, they're not. Their basketball team's not good.
Yeah, they're not a good team, dude.
James is the guy, Jimmy 10 times is the guy that he thinks he's a TCU basketball expert. Like, bro.
Everybody needs to get a life, bro.
You weren't even in the same hemisphere with Duke. Duke took you so lightly, TCU, that they sleptwalked through the first half. And I've seen Duke play 20 games this year, I would guess, minimum. I've never seen them play.
Yeah, so have all of us because they're on ESPN weekly.
As they should be. I've never seen the Boozer brothers, that entire roster was terrible in the first half. And then they showed up in the third quarter, and TCU absolutely showed us who they were. Why is Jamie Dixon an average ass coach? How do you get that technical foul if you're Jamie Dixon?
Yeah, I just felt like there wasn't response. You know, you knew that. Listen, if TCU went to the room at the half expecting anything different in the second half, you were foolish. You were silly. I don't know. Like, Duke has size, Duke has length, Duke is physical. They embrace the contact. They want to control the game. Do you understand that the reason that you got dominated so heavily in the second half is because you played their style of basketball? You stopped running. You stopped getting out in transition. You allowed them to play half-court basketball. You allowed them to beat your ass in the paint and get you in foul trouble. Like
them constantly.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just is.
And over. You turned what you were doing well, which was being physical, and then you started slapping down and reaching and pulling and grabbing shorts and jerseys.
Yes.
Because you can't compete. You can't compete with Duke. It's a physical talent difference. You're unable to compete with that level of talent. I'm telling you, Duke is significantly better than most people. James, who's been a member for 34 months. Jimmy 10 times. Let's go.
Appreciate it, James.
The Duke TCU game was competitive until Boozer elbowed punch in the face and gave him a concussion. He didn't elbow him in the face. It was a basketball play. It was a basketball play. It happens. And so you think that's when the game ended? Did you watch and I'm just being serious. Did you watch the game? Did you watch the game? Because if your belief is that incident is what led to Duke winning that game, I think you're out of your mind. I think you didn't.
Did you watch the Siena game? Because the Siena game, I mean, they flat out admitted post-game that they took Siena lightly, that they thought that they could just, cruise through Siena, that wouldn't really be a game. So then you roll up to the TCU game and it's like, all right, yeah, like this is TCU. It's a Big 12 team. These guys can play a little bit. Still think they kind of got off to a slow start the first half. That said, you weren't really putting them away. It wasn't like you were up 25 at the half, right? Wasn't like you were miles ahead and they played, I agree. They played one of the worst halves of basketball they played all year long. Terrible. Ass. I even texted Monty from I was watching the game while I was golfing and I said, dude, like how ass are you, dude? How ass can this team be against this TCU squad? And then they just come out in the second half and they're like, yeah, dude, just give me the ball. I'm going to get downhill and TCU is going to be mentally soft and start fouling us. So we'll be in the bonus, by like 10 minutes into the half. Like, come on, bro. Yeah, I'm sure he went out of his way to do this, dude.
It's a basketball play. This tells me you've never played basketball because this happens all the time.
Yeah.
You're making it out like it's some hit piece, bro. You're not. You're an Oak State fan. You should probably stick with that.
And again, just while we're on the topic, dude, just really quick, I want to clear the air with Jimmy 10 times. Stop tweeting at me saying that there's bias from our show against TCU. Okay, don't do that again because there isn't bias, bro. There's not
bias. Did you really tweet that we're biased against TCU?
Yeah, him and this bro. I don't even remember bro's name. Never heard of him before, but was in the feed or whatever. Is out here talking about how oh well, man, there's clearly bias against TCU, and you guys don't want to admit that it was officiating, and it's like, dude, come on, bro. Like at some point, you need to come out of the rectory and admit that you just got beat by a better team, dude. There's a reason they're a 1 seed, man. They're a good ass team
against TCU.
Like it's ridiculous, man.
Why would I have any bias against TCU? Why would I have any bias against TCU? Like, do you hear the stuff that you guys say? It's crazy. Welcome to the nightmare. Basketball is a contact sport, Jimmy, 10 times. That's been on the record. Yeah, that's on the record.
Dude,
FTR.
You're never living down on the record, bro.
No. Seems like Duke played down to the level of their competition and then wakes up and stomps them.
Correct. And that will inevitably come back to get them, in my opinion.
Bobby Bagels. Duke always has one sloppy game every tourney, and then they learn from mistakes and usually end up in the Final Four. I would agree with that. Duke is one of the best teams in college basketball. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Correct. Maybe Kansas will pay Bill Self $13.5 million to go coach at UNC. Bill Self's not. I doubt that. He should retire, in my opinion. That's just me. The Seahawks have extended. No kidding. Jackson Smith and Jigba. Holy cow. A 4-year, $168 million extension?
I'll Seahawks fan.
Doesn't that
been a good ride?
Jackson Smith and Jigba is now the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL.
Pay that man his money.
Wow. That's why. Okay. Hey, listen. It happens. Is Jackson Smith and Jigba worth the biggest contract in the NFL? I mean, you just won a Super Bowl. You did just win a Super Bowl. That's incredible. Well, and they extended Charles Cross. Wow. They paid Charles Cross like $29 million a year. Holy cow. Yeah, Jackson Smith and Jigba is the highest paid. Puka Nacua is going to get paid. Holy cow. Doesn't that get Puka Nacua paid? Puka Nacua or Jackson Smith and Jigba?
Probably JSN. He's younger, more runway.
I don't like the volatility off the field from Puka Nacua.
Agreed.
Ooh, that's a lot of money. JSN is an exciting young wide receiver in the league and tearing it up. He really is. Wow, that is a huge contract. My God, that is a huge deal. Ooh, that's wild, dude. That's wild. All right, let's get to Kyle Whittingham in Utah because this is some stuff right here on the Monty Show presented by the Advocates at theadvocates.com. The best injury attorneys in the business, 24/7, 365. Call the Advocates first, man. Don't call your insurance company. Don't call your friends, your mom. Call the Advocates at theadvocates.com when you get in a car accident because trust me when I say they're going to give you clear, risk-free advice. And the best part is you never reach in your pocket to pay the Advocates.
Injured in an accident? You may be entitled to a bigger settlement, up to 3.5 times bigger. Your initial consultation is 100% free, and we don't get paid unless we win your case. No matter the accident, we are here to help. The Advocates will fight for you because you deserve clarity, you deserve justice, you deserve guidance, you deserve an advocate. Contact us today.
At theadvocates.com, if you've been in a car accident, if you got in an accident on your motorcycle, yeah, with all the heat, motorcycles are back on the road. Keep your eyes peeled. Give the guys on two wheels a lot of room. Bicycles and motorcycles, get in an accident in an Uber. Did your neighbor's dog attack you? All of it. The Advocates are ready to fight for you at theadvocates.com. This Kyle Whittingham story is incredible. Just incredible. And as we've told you, Utah fan has melted down on Kyle Whittingham. And now we know that Utah fan who melted down on Kyle Whittingham was completely wrong. Because in a Freedom of Information request dump, we got to look at conversations and communications between Kyle Whittingham's agent and Utah administration, including athletic director Mark Harlan, who basically said, sure, we'll have Kyle Whittingham back because Kyle Whittingham, essentially, the season comes to an end. His agent immediately lets Utah know he intends to keep coaching. To which Utah said, we'll give you 1 year and essentially all of the power has to go back to Morgan Scalley. He has the final decision on all things football operations. And I am just amazed that they essentially tried to make Kyle Whittingham a head coach emeritus. And when you look at this, like this email, this is Jeff Rudy, one of the guys at Utah. Inclusive of any conference championship game, right? The terms end the day after Utah's final game of the 2026 season. $6.5 million. Effective February 1st, 2026, Morgan Scalley shall have full and final oversight in decision-making for the areas of football recruiting, player personnel, staffing, and general manager position. Effective immediately, Morgan Scalley shall have full, complete decision-making authority over all football recruiting, roster management, staffing matters that impact the program beyond the 2026 football season. Any staffing decision by the head coach that would result in a change or relinquish of duties require athletic director approval. Non-disparagement clause. Penalties for violation, first occurrence $500K, second occurrence termination for cause. An athletic department senior administrator, as designated by the athletic director, will be housed full-time within the football facility. College Sports Commission and NCAA infraction language and novella. So you essentially said, yeah, you can be the head football coach in name only. You have no decision-making authority. None. That's all us. That's all us. Right? Like, it's wild to me. Kyle asked for $9 million and 9.6 for 2027. $20 million in NIL. $2 million in additional money for his assistant coaches. Utah countered with $8 million, and Morgan Scalley would have final decision-making power over roster and recruiting and essentially everything in football. And if you're Kyle Whittingham, my question is, why would you do this? Why would you do this? Excuse my misclick. Why would you do this? You wouldn't. So Kyle Whittingham withdrew. And then Kyle Whittingham took the job at Michigan. And then Kyle Whittingham took staff with him. And then Kyle Whittingham took players with him. And Utah's reaction to that was, yeah, we're probably not going to pay you. They tried not to pay him. They considered not paying him, allegedly. And then they sent him an email that said, yeah, you know what? We feel like you violated the terms of our separation agreement, but here, we're going to pay you anyway. This is a terrible look for Utah. You forced Kyle Whittingham out of his job. You forced him out. And now you got exactly what you wanted. Exactly what you wanted. With Morgan Scalley as your head coach, this is a disaster at Utah. I think the last 6 months have been nothing short of a wreck for Mark Harlan, the athletic director at Utah. And if Morgan Scalley has a terrible season, I don't even know what a terrible season would look like. But what if they don't win 10 games? You have one of the premier quarterbacks in the league. You have your guy. If they don't contend for a conference championship, does anything happen? Do heads roll at all?
Nope.
Probably not. Probably not. And I cannot describe the profound level of disappointment I have in Mark Harlan, the athletic director at Utah. To me, this is insulting. It's a slap in the face. It's putting Morgan Scalley in this position only sets him up to fail. That's all this does. And I still can't not look at his smile.
Mm-hmm.
This sets Morgan Scalley up to fail. That's the only thing you can describe here.
I just don't know. The part that I have a lot of trouble with here is you're running a guy like Witt out of town for someone who's unproven. Like, with all due respect, man, I'm not saying he sucks. I'm not saying that Morgan's incapable. But what I am saying is he's unproven as a head coach, man. There's being the number one and there's being the number two. The guy's proven as the number two. He's not proven as the number one. And I think that what's really challenging is do I think your defense is going to be really good? Yeah, I do. Morgan puts together a really good defense. Witt puts together a really good defense that shouldn't be hard to replicate. You know, that's Utah's bread and butter. That's what they're known for. It's their brand.
Yep.
I don't deny that. But I don't understand where people get off thinking this squad's going to win 10 games or compete for a Big 12 championship. This squad's going to be lucky to be bowl eligible. Not that means a damn thing anymore. But this squad's going to be lucky to win 6 games, in my opinion. And I think that you're going to have real questions to answer when you struggle this year. There are going to be, like, the Utah fans going to make the excuse that, it's year one. Okay. All right, cool. Well, what happens in year 2 if you're not markedly better? Like, what happens if you never recover from getting rid of Kyle Whittingham? What happens when, better yet, let me do you one more. What happens when Kyle Whittingham goes and wins a national championship in Michigan?
Well, that'd be end times at Utah.
And that's why I'm saying this is a move that I'm really, like, I don't make it my business to make things personal with people, and I'm not making it personal with Mark Harlan, but bro, I can't get away from the decision making here, dude. I can't get away from the business decision that you made here, and it was a really poor one. And I think that it's not just the fact that you ran Witt out of town. It's not just the fact that you ran Witt out of town for a guy who's unproven as a head coach, mainly because he's not been a head coach at this level. And he just hasn't. It's not just that you, in my opinion, have set the program back. It's not just that you made this decision after the BYU debacle, after you were on Twitter this offseason tweeting at kids who committed, decommitted, yada, yada, yada. Like, it's not been a good run for Mark Harlan. And listen, as a dude, like, I'm sure he's perfectly fine. He was on the CFP committee. You know, you do a lot of stuff nationally. Like, I'm not saying he sucks, but what I am definitely saying is that this has been like 3-4 times in a row now where Mark's been on the wrong side of things and Utah's paying the price. And I just don't understand how, in a time when, quite frankly, winning in college football is all that matters, how are you taking this far of a step back? How are you in what information or what picture did you see that said, yeah, Morgan Scalley should be considered an equal to Kyle Whittingham? Because I agree completely with you. What position does this put Morgan Scalley in? What position does this put him in to allow him to succeed? So let me get this right. If dude doesn't win 10 games or compete for the conference in year one, he's considered a bust. If he doesn't have a massive recruiting class right here, right now, they're not going to come close to winning 10 games. And his predecessor went to a higher profile job in the Big Ten where he's got more access, more money, and a better TV deal. And you think that's going to work out well for you? Like, I can't get down with this and be like, yeah, dude, Mark, you've made a lot of great decisions lately, because you haven't. And it's not, again, I'm not saying you're a bad guy, but you just haven't made great decisions.
Yeah. You know what, Jeremy? Yes, that's exactly right. This goes back to, they stole it from us. The Holy War 2 years ago. Hell, look how bad the basketball program's been consistently for how many years now?
He's never been to a tournament as Utah's athletic director. You understand that, right?
How on earth have you paid this much to guys to not coach Utah basketball? How bad has this team been? And now you forced out Kyle Whittingham. And it's wild to me.
Yeah.
It is. It's wild to me. If I were Utah, I'd pay Urban Meyer to be a consultant. Why?
Okay, see,
you don't
that's
bring
just,
in,
you just,
again, guy, you have no frame of reference. You don't bring in a guy of that character to the University of Utah. Do you understand that Morgan Scalley and Urban Meyer are friends and they already talk? You're not going to pay him to, yeah, bro. You should be. And I think this is a critical time for Morgan Scalley. Morgan Scalley cannot sputter here. Morgan Scalley cannot, under any circumstance, get off to a bad start. You had better have your entire life put forward to win every single rep of spring ball, because again, and we can go conjecture and opinions. You're not close. As a point of fact, you are not close to the best roster in the Big 12. And if we're really getting down to brass tacks, you're half as talented as BYU is right now. And you look at Bear Bachmeier at BYU. My belief is he will be a Heisman Trophy contender. Did you see the picture that I tweeted? And I should have got it. I apologize, I didn't. I'll try to find it. Did you see the picture of Bear Bachmeier standing next to Jake Retzloff? Did you see that photo? Here it is right here. I'll get it. Look at how much girth Bear Bachmeier has put on, you guys. And I know that Jake, what am I going to say?
That I hate Bear Bachmeier.
No, that Bear Bachmeier is going to have a massive season.
Length.
Look at this picture. Look at Bear Bachmeier on the right. That's Jake Retzloff in the white t-shirt and blue shorts. That's Bear Bachmeier, a sophomore. Look at how much girth and thickness Bear Bachmeier has put on. Are you out of your goddamn mind if you think that BYU and Utah are on level playing field. BYU is running away, not running, sprinting away from Utah football right now. Recruiting, talent development, strength and conditioning. Where's the strength and conditioning coach at Utah? Oh, that's right. He works at Michigan now. Look at this picture.
Another talking point, like, yeah, I agree. Bear looks good here. He's doing what he needs to do. But I have to say, like, the other part of the Harlan thing and just comparing these two programs, like nobody at BYU was pissed that Jay Hill left. Was anybody like, oh yeah, Jay Hill's a bad guy, or Jay Hill, Witt's terrible for taking Jay Hill? Nobody was surprised, dude. In fact, I'd go as far as to say, and again, this is just my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, I would go as far as to say that people were like, yeah, good luck, Jay. Like, that's a great opportunity, dude. That's a high-profile job. Totally get it. It's Kyle Whittingham. Like, that's probably the best opportunity you're going to get in your career. Like, let's be real, So the idea that Utah and frankly Mark Harlan are sending emails out and are like, yeah, we're quote disappointed in your behavior, around this process, and you stole our coaches, and it's victimhood at its finest, dude. And I just think that any Utah fan that wants to talk about or wants to run from accountability on this and wants to run from just telling it how it is, like, I don't have respect for you, dude. Like, tell it how it is, man. Own the fact that your athletic director messed this up. Own the fact that Utah football is going to take a step back this year. And if they don't, Morgan will have done a hell of a job and will be in contention for coach of the year. But I don't think it's fair to be like, yeah, Morgan, dude, go out and win us double-digit games this year in year one, not just as Utah football's head coach, but as a head coach at this level, his first ever season. You expect bro to go out and win the Big 12, go out and get 10 games. Come on,
this is a terrible look.
Like,
this is a terrible look, man. Like, this is a really, really bad look. I mean, it is. I really don't understand where Mark Harlan's gone.
And I really get burned
I really
out
don't understand.
Dude, I get burned out on Utah fan. And I know it's not all of Utah fans. I'm not saying it's all of you. But there is a large swath of vocal Utah fan that wants to be like, oh man, Dybantsa's ass, and BYU is X, Y, and Z. But hey, don't look at what we got going on over here. There's nothing to talk about with us. It's fine. Jake, it's ridiculous, dude.
Jake, it's Joe Biden's fault. Okay.
Yeah, listen. Dude, it's Joe Biden's fault that AJ Dybantsa is going to the draft and that Richie tore his ACL. Like, come on, dude. Utah fan needs to mature a little bit, needs to grow up a little bit, and be accountable for the fact that you know what, like, yeah, the past couple of seasons under Witt have been really tough with injuries and the Baylor thing, and there have been some bumps along the road that were out of your control that really were ill-timed. I agree with that. But we've kind of graduated from that portion to now, hey, you're doing real self-damage here with the decisions you're making. And it's quite frankly only a matter of time until we're talking about either your AD or your head coach being replaced again. And I'm saying that conversation is going to happen inside of 3 seasons under Morgan Scalley.
You're exactly right. I mean, this is when have you ever seen something like this happen and it go well? When look at Baylor. Look at, like, when athletic directors go bad and they make bad decisions repeatedly. You're at TCU and you don't like you're keeping a bad football coach. You're at Oak State, you're keeping a bad football coach. Yeah. You're making bad decisions again and again and again. And Mark Harlan, in my opinion, had been and I don't know, Jeremy's point to, hey, at like 3 years, before that point, he navigated the Pac-12 meltdown perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Perfectly. And since that time, I mean, they've really done nothing well in basketball. And now this thing with Kyle, this is a mess. right? How much did Scally have to have a say in all this? Well, it feels like he was going to leave. And they panicked when Morgan Scally was going to leave. And the thing that's interesting, I was talking to a dude at BYU. BYU thought they would keep Kyle Whittingham. Morgan would leave and go take another job. The biggest concern at BYU was Jay Hill, who is thick as thieves with Kyle Whittingham, would leave BYU to go be the defensive coordinator and co-head coach at Utah, which is what I think would have happened. That's the worst part. And this dude at BYU is a well-placed guy in BYU athletics. And he's like, oh, we were fully ready. We thought that Jay Hill was going to go and replace Morgan Scally at Utah. And instead, they ran Kyle out, and Kyle went to Michigan and still took Jay Hill. They were like, we were ready. We thought it was good. We thought it was done. You don't run Kyle Whittingham out of Utah. BYU was like, they're not going to run Kyle.
Everybody was like, they're not going to run Kyle out of town.
Who would do that?
By the way, did Mark Harlan or anyone else take 5 seconds and look at the soft-ass schedule you're playing this year? Anyone notice you've got 3 games on the schedule this year? Like, it would have been a cakewalk 10, 11-game season under Kyle, yet you still ran his ass out of town. I don't get it, dude. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe I'm just stupid, dude. Maybe I just don't see the writing on the wall that you just got rid of an all-time great in the Big 12 and in the Pac-12 for a guy who has 0 experience as a head coach and frankly is a really good DC. And I guess your timing was, yeah, we have a soft schedule. We've got like, what do you have? Like, I think 3 legitimate games. The rest of them are like Colorado and West Virginia and like games that you really should win no matter who's your head coach. And you understand that to compete for the Big 12, you're going to have to be a one-loss team on that schedule. Like, you're going to have to be like right there the whole year. And the problem is, and what I don't think Utah thought about with this, is you're going to run into BYU. Like, let's say you go undefeated, but you lose the Holy War. Like, you win all your other games, but you lose the Holy War. And then you run into them into the championship game. Like, it's crazy.
Can you
bro.
imagine?
The optics would just be sensational, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. I'm just telling you, man. Like, it's you can't make these kind of decisions and expect good things to happen. And I see, I get Utah fan on my Twitter and like in our comments section right now, all uppity about like, oh, you guys are just freaking out. You hate us. You hate Utah. This is a BYU show. Bro, I'm not getting
This is a BYU show.
I'm not getting loose or excitable about Utah for no reason. You guys just want to sit here with your head in the sand and say, oh, no big deal. No big deal. It's not a problem. Like, our head coach just went to Michigan and we were left to deal with the consequences of that. We're not going to talk about the fact that he took all of our quality coaching off of our staff, or that we have a head coach that has no experience, and that the whole program hinges on Devin Dampier, somehow having another good season, even though his offensive coordinator is no longer there. Like, no, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that you lost the Fano brothers to the draft.
Wait. You understand this was a 2-loss team.
Yeah, it's not like you were ass.
This was a 2-loss team, man. Like, and I look at BYU. Also, a team that, in my opinion, I think BYU is significantly better. I think, and maybe I'm just throat slamming Bear Bachmeier, which is an honor code violation. I get it. But you can't tell me that you believe when you look at BYU's schedule that you think they're going to have a bad or a decline. He is significantly better. But yeah. I look at Utah's schedule last year. What were the 2 games they lost? Let me look at last year. Obviously, Texas Tech and BYU.
Yeah.
You lose 2 games last year.
To the 2 best teams in the conference.
And then you ran your head coach out, thinking somehow And this is the question I can't get people at Utah to answer. Why did you do it? And the only answer I get is it was time. They won 11 games. What do you mean it was time? Like, how could he have improved on this? Well, he could have beat BYU. Okay, but you got to understand, BYU is outspending Utah 3-1.
Again, just on that point, not to interrupt you, how long are we going to talk about under Mark Harlan not spending enough money?
It's like 3-1 BYU is outspending Utah. The only thing that Utah has, in my opinion, on BYU, and I think it's really close. They don't have to deal with the honor code at Utah. They can recruit anybody they want. That's the only thing, because I got to tell you, even though both of them have crown jewel facilities, like their football facilities are amazing, BYU, far better uniform package. BYU, far better recruiting package. BYU,
just say it how it is. Say it how it is. BYU's a Nike school.
Yes.
That's all you got to say.
Yes.
That's it.
Right. And you look at like, that's what this Jake Retzloff thing with Jake, BYU has handled this Retzloff thing perfectly. Having him back on campus, having him throwing at the pro day, the reconciliation, the healing, the coming together, the forgiveness, if you will. Bro, BYU can't seem to put a foot wrong right now, especially in football, right? I mean, if you look at everything at BYU, they're spending the money, their facilities are, even though I'm an Oak State fan, TCU James says that BYU has shitty basketball facilities. Again, you're up in the night. BYU's got elite basketball facilities, their locker room facilities, their practice facility, the Marriott Center, like all of it. Their social media. BYU, I don't even know that Utah does social media. BYU's video and social media, TikToks, Instagram, Twitter, all of it, superior. And then you ran Kyle Whittingham out of town. And somehow you think this is just going to be okay. It's not just going to be okay. You're going to have to prove every day that you can compete, because running Kyle Whittingham out of town, and this was, admittedly, this is a BYU opinion from somebody at BYU, running Kyle Whittingham out of town also helped BYU in recruiting massively, because it burned a lot of bridges at the high school level in the state of Utah where there's elite talent. A lot of people were disappointed in the way that Kyle Whittingham was treated. And now that was all verified by these document dumps.
Yeah, I love the assertion that from Utah fans that it's like, oh, well, Kyle took all of our coaches. He didn't follow the transition plan, quote, as per contract. Dude, you disrespected Kyle Whittingham. And
you paid him.
Dude, you shook a tree that you shouldn't have shook. And at some point, again, you need to be accountable for it. And I feel like I've been talking about this constantly, but like, why are we as fans just so unwilling to be accountable? TCU wasn't better than Duke. You got your ass beat, be accountable. You lost the game. Hey, you disrespected Kyle Whittingham. You ran him out of there. And then you were pissed that he didn't follow the contract around coaches. All of which, by the way, who had a choice. And the choice they made was to go to Michigan and play for Buddy.
Well, but I think the other thing that's important to point out is Kyle Whittingham is operating at a very high level. You had you had his worst season 2 years ago.
Yeah, 5-7.
Why didn't you fire him then? Because you fired Kyle Whittingham. That's what you did here. Why didn't you fire him then?
Great question.
Because do you see the mistake that you made by bringing Kyle back last year? He goes 11-2.
Because I know he's such a terrible head coach, and he's not. He's over the hill now.
And I said what I'll say again what I said a year ago. He completely changed his way of operating. Kyle Whittingham, massive restructuring and rehaul of his offense. brings in the best offensive coordinator and quarterback combination in the country 2 years ago, and they replicate that success at Utah. You have one of the best offensive in the country at Utah last year. And now that entire package, obviously Devin stayed at Utah, but that entire package goes to Michigan. And you lose one of the best offensive linemen in the country to the draft. Like, why didn't you fire him 2 years ago?
You should have fired him when he went 5-7.
Because it was
perfect chance.
It's clearly where your heart was at the time. You wanted Kyle Whittingham no longer to be the coach at Utah. And now you're here. It was a mistake. To treat Kyle Whittingham this way was a huge mistake. He should still be the head coach. Morgan, if Morgan had to leave at that point, okay, great. Go. If Morgan Scalley leaves this program because Kyle Whittingham is still the head coach, that tells you a little bit about Morgan Scalley, and you should have let him walk. You should have let him walk. And if it's true that the Garf Family Foundation would not have supported another Kyle Whittingham year, well, what does that say about the support you're getting from them now? I understand. There was never going to be a good time to say goodbye to Kyle Whittingham. It was always going to be about how you say goodbye to Kyle Whittingham. And you insulted him and you fired him. And that's the unfortunate part.
Yep.
That is
and then
that is
double
the
down on that.
part.
You want to talk about BYU.
Always. Utah's plan to use female fan to take out enemy QB, well, was about the only thing that worked out for them. I don't know that I would go that far. Bobby Bagels, that was a good bagel.
Why do you got see? You know, we gave you this iconic name, and now you got to start talking about bagels again as if I wasn't hungry enough, dude. I mean, I would eviscerate a nice toasted bagel, dude. You know how good that sounds, bro?
I would agree. I would eviscerate a nice toasted bagel. So, you know. Oh, you got to be kidding me.
What?
Well, Wes Miller's leaving Cincinnati. Oh, a North Carolina coach is off the board. Wes Miller has been hired by Charlotte. Wes Miller left Cincinnati to go to Charlotte? Is that a typo? Well, Wes Miller was certainly going to be a candidate if the Carolina job opened. So there's one more off the board. Habitual tree-shaking line steppers. Yeah, no doubt. Thomas J. Beck, did you guys see the story at LaGuardia this morning? Oh, my God.
What?
LaGuardia Airport, New York. An Air Canada commuter plane, which is a jet that's a smaller regional jet, was landing at LaGuardia and hit a fire truck on landing. It landed and it was still going full speed. You know how a plane touches down and you're slowing down? At pretty much full landing speed, it slammed into a Port Authority fire truck.
Perfect.
At LaGuardia this morning. Terrible, terrible story. TJ Beck, hello, my friend. Utah played the FA-FO with Kyle, and the results are painful. I agree with that. Bobby Bagels. I feel bad for Whit. He has to coach at that disgusting football program. Thank you. See? Disgusting football program. How desperate was Kyle to keep coaching? He went to the scumbags at Michigan. Right? You know he will eventually take strays that aren't for him just because of where he is. Truth. And somehow Job of the Manual is still there. Roche, one of our resident Utah fans. I think everyone is in a better place now. I don't understand what Utah did wrong. I think Kyle needed to leave. It's what we needed, and it's what Kyle needed. Whoa.
Dude, oh my God, dude.
So why did Kyle Whittingham need to leave? And let me ask you this again. You keep Kyle Whittingham. Let's play the what if and what would have game. You keep Kyle Whittingham. All right, Morgan Scalley goes and takes a different job. Okay, well, if then what? Morgan Scalley leaves, Jay Hill goes from BYU to Utah. which is what my sources at BYU said they were preparing for. Are you not in a better place with Kyle Whittingham and Jay Hill and Jason Beck? That's the best staff in the conference. Not close.
Agreed.
Kyle Whittingham, the head coach, Jay Hill, the DC, Jason Beck and Devin Dampier, your offense. Kyle needed to leave? Come on now. Why did Kyle need to leave? Well, he had a terrible season 2 years ago. Came back and went 11-2 last year. Why did he need to leave? He was recruiting. He was portaling. Oh, because he asked for more NIL money. And he asked for a raise for his coaching staff. Come on now. Why did he need to leave? That's the one I'm going to need an answer to. That's the one like, listen, I can go with you on a lot of stuff as it relates to Kyle Whittingham in Utah. Kyle's arc through NIL too slow. The infrastructure at Utah Athletics too slow to assimilate to NIL and portaling. But he really did assimilate to it. And you were swapping players with BYU back and forth. The Fano brothers, right? Tanavasa.
And if you think that Witt and Kalani don't talk, you're up in the night.
They're very close friends. Jay Hill and Witt are very close friends, obviously. Jay Hill took about half a second to say yes. Did Kyle Whittingham really need to leave? I'm going to say
did 11-2 really need to leave?
Coach Whittingham stays. Coach Scally leaves. Coach Whittingham retires. Jay Hill becomes the head coach of Utah. It was a perfect plan that Harlan blew up.
Yeah, I mean, potentially. Potentially.
We're taking steps back when Kyle leaves anyway. This has been a long-term plan. Morgan is still recruiting.
Yeah, but I think you are wearing red sunglasses, dude.
Who do you want as your next head coach, Morgan Scally or Jay Hill? You don't want the answer to that question. Jay Hill, for sure. Utah could have had Jay Hill as their next head coach. Yes, they could have. And to Roche's point, we can sit here and play the what if and maybe game. I agree that Kyle was certainly he was year to year, right? There's no question about
Which
that.
I agree for a football program that needed to be settled. You either needed to extend him for 3 years at a time or not.
But I think I would, any Utah fan, I think would have to agree. You would take Jay Hill over Morgan Scally. I mean, you would, right?
And again, to Roche's, this sentiment here, though, I think we can't just skip over. The sentiment of we're taking a step back anyway. You are?
I don't believe that.
I'm not trying to be a red ass with you, man, but if you're Utah football, hasn't the play for Utah football been, and if we wind the clocks back even 10 years, right? Post
wind the clocks back.
Yeah, post Scally tech scandal forward, the play was always, hey, Scally is going to be the replacement. He is the head coach in waiting. So you've known about this for damn near all of Mark Harlan's tenure at Utah. This is not a new thing. This is not somehow a surprise. So this sentiment right here, with all due respect, Roche, I completely disagree with you. The sentiment was never Utah was going to take a step back. No. The sentiment was Kyle Whittingham is grooming Morgan Scally so that when Morgan takes the head coaching post as someone who's never been a head coach, he's prepared and he knows how to recruit. And he's not just talking about relationships in Houston with Holly Rowe. He's talking about we're a nationwide program. We know how to get guys from Florida. We know how to get guys. We have a pipeline to California. You didn't hear any of that. And that's
now
why
I'm
telling you it's an issue.
The biggest issue is the dynamic has completely shifted because now I have to think Jason Beck or Jay Hill will be the next head coach at Michigan. I would assume. I mean,
and by the way, if you're Kyle Whittingham, at what point do you put to bed the rumors of your retirement? I mean, at what point do you say, "Hey, dude, like I'm going to be coaching for another 5 years. Like you can stop asking me about my path out of football or when I'm going to retire, or will I retire after my next national championship? Like stop asking me those questions, dude. Like you took the Michigan job. This bro's got at least 5 years to go. You don't take that kind of job and operate in 3-year windows, dude. This is a 5-year post at a minimum, dude.
Yeah, and I just look at Kyle's got he's got a huge incoming class.
Yeah. The biggest question will be your quarterback. That's it. If you can figure him out. And I do think that's a big if. Yes, they're capable. Yes, I think he will develop. But what does that actually look like on the field, you know?
Well, now there's no excuses for Bryce because he's got Beck.
Of course.
Right?
Of course. But you and I both know, just like we talk about with Bear Bachmeier, right? Like the off-season development, yes, that's great. But how does that translate to the field? With Bear, I can say, okay, cool. Like, dude's put on muscle. Like, his throwing mechanics are better. We're on track to have a pretty damn good season, dude. All signs look green. But I'm not really seeing much out of Bryce Underwood outside of your little shenanigans in the locker room right after Witt took the post. Yep. So I just have questions, dude.
Why would Jay Hill leave BYU, who just got more money? That's not for sure, is it? And Morgan might be a small step back. 10 wins is still no, it is not possible. Well, you have a really easy schedule.
And should have a dominant defense.
But if you win 10 games, that would be a very good season for Morgan. I mean, I just look at their road games. The road games are very easy. I mean, you're at Iowa State, at Colorado, at Cincinnati, at Arizona, at TCU. I mean, you have one game, Arizona, that's a challenge. I mean, and your home games are West Virginia, BYU, Houston, Kansas, Utah State, Arkansas, and Idaho. I mean, that's an easy schedule, right?
Yeah.
But why would Jay Hill leave BYU? Him and Kyle are very close. And I think Jay Hill wants to be the next head coach at Utah, or did. But now he's going to have an opportunity to be the next head coach at Michigan.
Right.
Which I have to believe that's what Kyle's pointing him at. Right? I mean, because their defense is going to be just talent alone. Their defense is going to be ridiculous. I mean, I think it's going to be very good. Jeremiah, I forgot which player it was, but there's a picture floating around of a Miami player going to get food from concessions after they lost their game in uniform still. Is there really? That's wild. That's very interesting. I haven't seen that. Speaking of teams that look like a monster. Dude. Bros.
Get a life.
Bros.
Man. Come on, man.
Have you guys seen, and I know it's spring football and we all win national championships, right? We all win national championships. Have you guys seen the photos of, I don't even know what we're on.
How many times this month are you at right now? I mean, are you at like 50? Yeah, you're at like 96. Okay, I just wanted to check in.
I don't even know. Jerome Bettis Jr. looks like a different human being. Like, if you look at Jerome Bettis Jr., and I'm getting the photos now. But what have I told you guys about lifting weights at Notre Dame? Right? Because we don't soak at Notre Dame, we pound.
Right.
This is incredible to me. If you look at these two pictures, this is Jerome Bettis Jr., the wide receiver, who is the son of the legendary Pittsburgh Steeler and Notre Dame alum. Here he is 1 year ago in spring ball. Okay. Looks like a football player, I guess.
Do you even live?
Here he is on Saturday afternoon. Bro.
Macaque. Macaque.
Are you what? Dude, I don't know if they're on the Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire plan over there.
Dude, peptides. They're on peptides, brother.
B12 shots.
Yes.
Whatever it is, give me some of that. Your boy needs it. Because this is incredible.
I've never taken steroids.
I'm just going to keep telling you. We're coming for your neck. It is wild to me.
I'm going to say this again.
Look at this video. The guy's a fucking unit.
Lidocaine and B12.
This is listen, all of us do not come here the day after we go undefeated and win a national championship. Yeah, because I will just be oh my God, bro. The forearm strengthening will be elite.
Well, I think when we started with that messaging, we have to utilize the situation we were in last year. So if we
utilize it.
Use that situation where we were left out of the playoffs as a opportunity to blame the committee, to blame somebody else, you're not utilizing the decision that was made. We have to use that to make sure we leave no doubt as we go into this season. But leave no doubt is not just in the game of football. It's you as a person, right? And I tell our players all the time, if you want to be a starter, you have to leave no doubt. If you want to play more, you have to leave no doubt. If you want to get your degree, you have to leave no doubt. And so it's a mindset to put the work in that gives you an opportunity to leave no doubt. This is probably the best off season we've had so far. Number one is because we've had more time, right? Yeah. To stop playing the last game being in November, you really do a little bit of stuff in December, and to really start your off-season workout right when they get here in January. I think we're further ahead in terms of the development of the team. You have both coordinators back. You have your starting quarterback back. You got a lot of guys returning.
Do you even live?
Bro. Dude.
Anyone, can you do something for me?
Like. And I have been a vocal Marcus critic. There's no question about that, right? Like I have not been a fan of Marcus Freeman. He has done one thing very well, recruit. But now with the staff hires, and I don't know how you explain this strength and conditioning thing at Notre Dame.
Oh my God, just like that. Oh.
I mean, bro.
I agree, dude. Bro competing for Mr. Olympia in Notre Dame's football program is incredible, dude. You know.
He's a hoe, and I want that known.
Bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
the minibus. Nice.
Bro. Like they're just, I don't even, let's get naked. Find me some coconut oil. Let's go to work.
And girth.
Like I don't think I've ever seen Monty that relaxed, bro.
The biggest load that we've seen.
Ask your mom. I'm telling you right now. Those pictures are AI. They must be.
Hey, ChatGPT, can you cook up a photo of the minibus jacked after his off-season workouts? By the way, put some veins on his arms if you don't mind.
And just the thing that really stands out to you is the 7-on-7s. It's to win at 7-on-7 football. Do you guys know what 7-on-7 is? It's essentially 7 defenders, 7 offenders. You have to be accurate. CJ Carr looks so different as a quarterback. I can't explain. I don't know what they are feeding the Catholics, but whatever's in the communion and the wine, the body and the blood of Christ.
In God's name, image, and likeness.
If I got to take it rectally, just pour it in there.
Whoa, dude. Whoa. James, where are you at, brother?
I mean, again, fill me up because I'm ready.
Is this on the record or is this off the record? I just want to make sure.
Whoa. 10 times needs to stay the away from Notre Dame. Do not comment on Notre Dame, you heathen. Yes, absolutely. Glazing the gold.
Yes.
Shining my golden dome. Yes. Steroid-laced communion wafers, 100%. They're drinking protein shakes at confessional.
And B12.
Yeah, apparently he lifts.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Yep.
It's incredible. It is incredible, dude. I mean, yeah. Chat GPT, can you create an all-fat team? I would be the starting quarterback of the all-fat team. Yes, here's your 2026 Notre Dame football team and Zion Williamson, dude. As long as he brings his girlfriends with so that my guys...
Mariah Mills is on the sideline. Look at that.
Bro. I'm telling you. Bro. Yes, Abe Froman, sausage, baby. Let's go.
Length and girth.
Quote, sausage, baby.
Dude. And I am telling you right now, if we lose a game, Marcus Freeman should get run out of town.
Like they did with Witt?
You're such a jerk. Come on, TJ Beck. I'd say check out the short bus, but no one wants to make fun of that, and I hope he is in a good mood and laughs.
Oh.
Okay. Jeremiah Champion, come on, guys. Do we have to fight? Can we all just at least agree Texas State is a 7? Oh, my God. Hey, Marty, Notre Dame is losing a game on October 17th. Where's Kay Nurin when you need him? Kay Nurin's been telling me that for like a year.
Seriously.
We're beating that Catholic ass Mormons over
I want that known.
all day long. We tithe, you ride, same thing. We need to have an Afro Man segment on the show sometime this week. Just saying. Well, everybody seems to be a little tuned up this Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
You know. TJ Beck, you know what the Catholics are eating to get stronger, Monty. You know.
Yeah, probably half cows from Costco, dude. That's probably the Notre Dame plan to get fat.
Oh, so are we doing that now? Do you have the picture of the half cow?
I've got a video on the half cow, bro. Look at this thing.
Do you guys buy? Wait, hang on. Let's explain it first, douchebag. So a video popped up on the TikTok machine yesterday of a side of beef for sale at Costco. And I want you to think two things. How much meat can you fit in your car? And secondarily, how much is too much?
As Costco has just raised the bar again, a whole side of a cow. Take a look at this. It's $1,900 and it's 375 pounds. Take a look at that picture. So 375 pounds. First off, how are you even getting that thing out of the store? I mean, are they putting a forklift underneath this and bringing it to your truck? Because Lord knows that's not going to fit in a car. But a whole side, is that even a good deal? So I'm not a butcher, but I know a lot of people watching this probably get their own cuts of meat. So a whole half side of a cow, this is a whole half side of beef, it says. How many cuts can you get out of that? And what are probably the best cuts that you can get out of? Costco is known for literally going and just bulk buying beef and meat and everything else. So What are your thoughts about this?
Bro, the owner of OnlyFans is dead. Jake, did you see this?
Yeah, I just texted it to you.
Oh, did you really? Marcus just texted it to me too. Leo Radvinsky is dead at the age of 43. We are deeply saddened to announce the death of Leo Radvinsky. He passed away peacefully after a long battle with cancer. Bro.
That's tough, bro.
What does that do for
really
OnlyFans?
tough, dude. Oh, I'm sure they've got a whole contingency plan. Long term, I doubt it does much.
So let me ask you. Okay, so
cows are going to have to wait. Someone died.
Yeah, I think the cows are going to have to wait. Okay, where do you come down on God? Stupid timer. Where do you guys come down on this OnlyFans thing? Like, so is OnlyFans good or bad for America?
I mean, in these times, yeah, it's probably helping the economic flow. Just on premise, yeah, probably not great. But how many people have made a gazillion dollars on OnlyFans? How many people have financially benefited? If we're talking about, quality of human being, if we're talking about selling your soul for money, yeah, probably not great. Probably not ideal.
You can hate OnlyFans as much as you want. I mean, and truly you can. There's no doubt it revolutionized its industry, right? There is no question. It revolutionized its industry, right? It is incredible to me that and this is the owner of OnlyFans. This is the owner of OnlyFans who now passed away, that you see on your screen. And it's incredible to me what this guy was able to accomplish. And I hate that it's pornography, because I think we all know I am not a fan of pornography.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's tough, dude. I think that, yeah, I mean, obviously the nature of the platform, plays a huge role in the conversation. But, bro is in the ground at 43. I mean, I wouldn't wish that on anyone. And I think that that platform did revolutionize the industry. That platform, did change things. There's no question about it. And I think that once again, it's another thing where that platform struck gold during the pandemic, man. Yeah. I mean, there's just no other way around it. When you have the situation playing out the way it did during that time in our country, to have a platform like that where, quite frankly, dudes could do what dudes do, I mean, you're going to benefit. And I think that it sucks that that's the nature of the content. And I really despise that, a lot of these creators just literally just sell their souls. And now, it used to be that, oh, well, don't screen record my OnlyFans and share it. But now that's just like common, that's just like a normal thing now. And that these people just have their channels and you wind up hearing from these different creators that they regret their decision. So I just think it's a whole cesspool of awfulness. But again, I wouldn't wish it on anyone to be in the ground at 43.
Yeah, it's brutal. It is. That's rough to be dead at 43 years old, man. That's brutal. His contract with Satan was due. Who are you, James, in priest mode? Dude. I mean, you do. And we need to talk about this manosphere thing. Do you guys know what the manosphere is? Because I think this is a big part of this OnlyFans stuff. Jake, have you ever heard of the manosphere? Do you know what that is?
No idea. Never heard of it.
So it's essentially the Paul brothers. It's this group of people that believe men are superior and women should be subservient. And
okay,
they're clout chasers, essentially.
Yeah, clickbaiters. Yeah.
That to me is where OnlyFans started, I felt like. And I don't understand this explosion. And there's a documentary my wife and I watched on Netflix about the manosphere.
Right.
And it is fascinating to me what a bunch of degenerates these dudes are. And they're just doing it because they know you'll click on it and watch their videos and their live streams, and they'll make a ton of money. And they'll live these ridiculous lives promoting OnlyFans performers. Like, one of the things they do is they promote these OnlyFans performers and then rip them and call them hoes, and you have no morals and you're a terrible person. And it's like, I don't know how we got to a place in society where things like OnlyFans like thrives. It thrives on the fact that we don't have one-to-one relationships.
Yes.
That's what OnlyFans is. OnlyFans is a place where you can go and not have to connect with somebody physically. Like, it's just a very bizarre thing to me. It's a very bizarre thing to me. I don't know. Yeah, exactly right. I have a conscience and agree with Monty. Porn is a great destroyer of men. Everyone has their agency, but damn, if it doesn't ruin your soul, it really does.
Yeah. And you know what I would also contend with OnlyFans is that I actually think if you really get into it, I actually think it's worse than just like a bro going to like a, an adult content site. Like OnlyFans is, hey, you signed up for someone's page, like their account, and they are giving you personalized content that you're requesting.
They are giving
whether it is or not. Yeah, I agree. The AI conversation is part of it too. But my point is that it makes it worse when you feel like, hey, I'm like talking to a creator and they're investing time in me, and we have like this relationship of sorts, and not like you're with them, but just like they know who you are. You're talking, you're communicating, they're making you personalized content. Like, I just think it gets into, it's so much worse than, hey, I needed a 5-minute fix. It's like, hey, now I'm like, thousands of dollars into this thing for paying for content, and it's just degrading me as a human being. Like, I just think that's the part that I have the biggest issue with.
I just can't do this whole manosphere thing, and you should go look at it, you guys. You'll be fascinated.
Is this the name of the documentary, or where did manosphere come from?
Just search manosphere. It's a whole term, but search manosphere documentary, and we're just creating this legion of young people in this country that don't have an understanding of what human respect is. And you're creating this group of young men who don't respect women or don't value women as human beings.
Yeah.
Like, they are utilities in their life. And I'll never understand it. I just don't. I guess it's for money and clout and fame. And if that's what drives who you are, I am no longer surprised at why Gen Z is where we are. I am no longer surprised at why, because a lot of these manosphere bros are millennials. And when did they come up with their money and their clout? The pandemic. Because it made it easy not to talk to people and say outrageous things that people will watch. And just watching this documentary, it is so disgusting to me.
Yeah.
The way that these dudes act, I'll never understand it.
Yeah,
I will never understand it. And like, they're busting these OnlyFans farms where you have, did you guys see this thing where you have this room of men acting as women who are OnlyFans creators, and they literally have this entire room of all of these screens, and it's these 5 guys sitting in front of like 5 massive screens running like 50 OnlyFans accounts. And you think you're talking to this female performer. This YouTube View thing where the police raided this underground bunker that had cell phones on every wall, every ceiling, everywhere, viewing their own YouTube videos so that they could run. Like, that's who we are now.
They'll do anything.
It's crazy to me that this is what our young men are doing in this world. I'll never understand it. It is so,
we'll
yes.
do anything, man.
It is so cringe for sure. But yeah, the founder of OnlyFans passed away this morning at 43 years old. What's all that money worth now? What's all that money worth to you now?
It always seems to work out that way, doesn't it? For a lot of people, like, hey, you did this one thing and it made you a lot of money, but then, you had cancer or like something happened.
Yeah, it is.
It's really tough, man.
It is incredible to me how bad it is.
Yeah.
Small D syndrome is probably the prime motivator for the manosphere nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, I just think like if you look at the Paul brothers, I think that they were always, top grade manosphere kind of guys. They were always cringe, making clickbait material, man. And it's one of my big contentions with YouTube and like just doing stuff like we do. Like everybody seems to want content and live streaming and want all this stuff, but then we just reward all the worst of it. We just reward like
we do.
all the terribleness, and it makes it so that creators who are actually trying to create quality content just don't get what they should.
But isn't that where guys like Charlie Kirk and Nick Fuentes came from?
Yeah.
You can live stream all this hate speech and all these terrible things, and you can say all this terrible stuff and make people feel terrible about who they are. And you're playing because you don't need 1 million people to watch your stuff, right? Like you're getting that, and you're playing to the dregs of society who are lonely and don't have a group they can vocalize these feelings in. And then you're creating this new generation of people who don't feel that way, but they hear your terrible words that you're only saying to get clout and money, and then they start believing those things. That's where we've kind of gone, which is just crazy to me.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. Any publicity is still publicity to them. I would agree with that. Yeah, I would absolutely believe that. I think it's more complicated. Gen Z men also don't want to date because most women their age are toxic. To them, dating isn't worth the effort for something that probably won't last. I don't know if most Gen Z women are toxic. I don't even know what that means. Right? But I don't know what that means. I think, and millennials are probably the best example of this. We can't relate to other humans on a one-to-one level. We've lost the ability to go out and meet somebody without a dating app, without pre-qualifying them to be our life partners. And now, in this manosphere world we live in, it's women whose only job is to clean the house and raise our kids.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what they want, regardless of what their hopes and dreams are, regardless of what their ideals are, no, you stay home, you raise the kids. I'm going to make money streaming and saying terrible things about human beings.
And then play it off like I'm a good dude. That's the thing that's hilarious.
They're playing it off like they're great entrepreneurs who are doing business and making tons of money, and they're not. They're not great. They're not great entrepreneurs. They're provocateurs. That's that's the truth.
Yeah.
They get the clicks. They absolutely get the clicks.
Yeah.
So
I guess I just care about being able to sleep at night,
Yeah. Yeah. Truthfully, it's just it was just shocking to watch that documentary. And if you haven't watched that documentary, you should. Tomorrow on the show, we got to talk about Tom Brady and Logan Paul.
Speaking of the Paul brothers.
Did you guys see Tom Brady ball out in flag football? We're going to have to talk about that tomorrow.
Bro is still drinking his green shakes, I'm sure.
Apparently. Because he looks, dude, Tom Brady, if you want a role model, Tom Brady's got to be up there, right?
Has to be.
Dude, he looks so good. And he can still throw that football, man. The Monty Show is always presented by The Advocates at theadvocates.com. Call The Advocates first. You guys, when you get in an accident, when you've been hit on your motorcycle, when you have gotten in an accident with a semi-truck, you got hurt at work, call The Advocates. Call them now, call them first. And trust me, they're going to fight for you. And you have no risk. You get clear risk-free advice because you never reach in your pocket to pay the advocates at theadvocates.com 24/7, 365. Make sure you tell them you heard about it on the Monty Show. Until tomorrow, say goodbye, Jake.
Goodbye, Jake.